All right. Good evening, ladies, lords, lasses, and all those in between. It is I, your humble game master, the Deathly Shad, here today to bring you more Rains of Vitrium content. Ooh. Cool stuff is happening! I think, probably, who knows? I certainly don't. But here today with me are my lovely, lovely players. Agathar, say hi to the people.
We can't catch a fucking break.
Morrigan, say hi to the people.
Hello, I'm tired.
Francois, say hi to the people.
Hello.
Soren, say hi to the people.
Vaelyn could die or be mind controlled, and I wouldn't know a thing because I'm on a date.
Vaelyn, say hi to the people.
I'm in danger.
Oh, you're all in danger, but don't worry about
Always
that
in
too
danger.
much. You'll probably be fine. Who knows? I don't. But remember, if you like our content, to like, subscribe, follow, and so on and so forth. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/deathlyshad if you want to catch us live in the pre-stream and the post-stream to talk about the session before and after it. And without further ado, allow me to get right into the action. So, when last we left our adventurers, Agathar the Kobold Rogue, Morrigan the Halfling Divination Wizard, Rensois the Rabbitfolk Monk, Soren the Rabbitfolk Samurai, and Vaelyn the Rabbitfolk Cleric, the party arrived in Deepwood and went about shopping and meeting up with old flames and parting ways with their additional party members. Eloise and company heading off to the necropolis to help prepare it for the rest of the party to arrive so they can acquire the Ring of the Archmage of the Divine. Yet, before they leave, Morrigan unleashes the power of a wish spell to restore the mind of Vani, Vaelyn's long-lost sister, who was turned into a blood elemental through skill-based acquisitions at the hands of the Enchantment Archmage. And to do this, she fixed the errors in her past and rewrote part of her story. But in doing so, this transferred all the trauma that Vani endured to her brother in her stead. A terrible time indeed. But Vaelyn didn't dwell on it so much. Instead, opting to go forth and get some weapons from a local black arms dealer instead of, waking up his sister or something like that. But on his way back, he was chanced upon by his old friend, Lucas, the Archmage of Enchantment. Just what does he want? Will Vaelyn be utterly fucked? What lies in store for the party with Lucas back in play? Who knows? I don't. Let's find out today as we return to the Rains of Vitrium.
Okay.
I was gonna add on. I was like, well, that requires Vaelyn to be a good brother, so I don't know.
Ooh!
God.
Ooh! And now,
Anyway, rest in peace, Vaelyn.
and now for something entirely different. Agathar, what are you doing?
Okay. Shit. Alright.
You thought we would open up with the good shit? Nah.
I had a feeling you would fucking do this, you son of a bitch. Okay. There is one thing he wanted to do. I forgot about. So the order of operations, I guess it will be the shopping, like ending the shopping spree, and then going to the police station to get Anna registered, because you gotta register your undead. So
Of course you do. Of course you do.
he's gonna go register Anna, maybe catch up with Miss Rivendell there, see how everything's been going, and then after that, he's going to go to the library to check out a couple of books, and then he's going to go to the school.
Alright then. Well, we'll start with your trip to the police precinct first. Your journey into it is without any particular issues or qualms or anything like that. And upon walking in, of course, the big cheetah man at the front desk with his little box of donuts looks up at you and he's just like, "Oh hey, Agathar, how you doing, buddy?"
Hi, you actually remember my name.
Well, I should. I mean, you passed the Archmage exam.
Oh, that's right. He kind of scratches the back of his head. That's right. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did, but I forgot that that's kind of televised around here.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, some might say.
It seems like it. Sorry, just been real busy. I'm here to register an additional undead.
Ooh, okay, all right then. Well, go ahead and let me get the paperwork for you, and go ahead and pull them out if you would.
Sure. And Anna will roll out of the bag.
Oh,
I think she
that's
has
a
to
big
crouch a little bit in the building.
No, you don't.
Okay, cool.
Building's pretty big.
Cool. All right. She's a large creature.
He looks up at her like, "Oh, it's a pretty big undead right there. Nice."
Yeah.
He pulls out the paperwork and he signs a couple things. So, what is this undead specialization?
Defense.
Okay.
Defense and
Slim Jims.
Oh yeah, father.
And it's just violence. Like, oh no.
Yeah, you know what.
You're registering
Anna-
the cream of the crap.
Anna will actually chime in, smashing things
You're not wrong.
and cooking.
Yeah, and cooking. So defender chef, I guess. I don't.
And playing
It's like
chess.
you hear like a distant echo. It's just like incorrect.
and playing chess, and also punching things in the face.
Really hard.
Super
Mostly
hard.
defense.
She
Mostly
flexes her
defense.
non-existent muscles.
I feel like her life force kind of flares a little bit when she does that.
He just kind of nods. Uh-huh. And then
Yeah,
you see and then you see him fill out eccentric undead.
yeah. He kind of whispers to us like, do you have to specify semi-sentient undead in that?
He looks up at you. Any souls?
No, not besides my own.
All right. Well, I mean, it's not. I don't. Yeah, give me a second to look at the book. He pulls out a large book and just sits it on the table before he starts flipping through it, just like. And he palms through a couple of laws and stuff. So long as it does not have a personal soul from another source outside the necromancer, it is not considered a sentient creature.
I wasn't sure what the laws said.
The book closes, and he fills out a couple more things. He says, "Okay, sign here, sign here, sign here."
He will sign in a couple of spots, and he's like, I probably we might need to update Belle's because she's much different than the last time I registered her. But she's kind of the same.
I mean, I already have an update given me by Miss Ariana.
Oh, I mean,
She helped
don't
in the reconstruction of your other undead creature, so
yeah,
she had to file an update.
right. But her new form was after that, I believe.
Oh, okay, another new form. All right, you've been a busy bee.
You have no idea.
I can imagine. You see him grab another form and kind of like he takes out this large stamp and he stamps it, and you see the form shift from like a blank one to an already filled in one that he then pulls out another specialty pen that he starts to erase certain lines with and restructure them with. It's Anna's documentation.
Yeah, Belle will roll out to kind of show like, hey, this is
Sorry, it's
probably
Belle's
different than-
documentation. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like Belle will roll out and kind of like shows like, here's the differences. That one definitely says full elk. This is not elk anymore.
And it takes you.
Agathar in his head. Sorry, it's Agathar in his head. It's just like, if I don't stop, the voices come back. If I don't work, the voices come back.
It takes the two of you about like half an hour to hash out the details. He does offer you a donut. They're jelly filled.
Ooh. Obviously testing for poisons, but he'll take it, and then when the guy looks away, he'll do his due diligence.
That's fine.
And then he will.
Jelly filled donuts. I love rice balls. Thanks, Brock.
Yeah, after doing his due diligence, I assume they're not poisoned, because...
No, they're not.
Cool. He will have a donut, and then Agathar will offer, because we bought this off-screen, he'll offer a glass of, from his carton of endless milk.
Hell
that we
yeah.
bought off-screen.
This man looks at you like, why did you get a carton of endless milk when there's like so many other tasty beverages?
I have to keep the calcium up, or my fiance will beat me up. I'm kidding. No, I work with a lot of bone, including my own, so I gotta keep the calcium up.
Oh, okay. Necromancer stuff. Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right then. Phil, he accepts a glass of milk. He likes milk.
The carton says calcium enriched.
What color is it? Is it
Like-
blue milk?
Yeah, I would probably say it's blue. Like, well, the carton or the milk?
The milk.
The milk is, I don't know, milk color? It's not that fucking Star Wars space cow milk.
Like basically the magic item maker is just like, hey yo, what color you want it to be?
I don't know, white milk color?
Okay, then it's white milk color.
Yeah.
It's cursed. It's cursed in that it just dispenses green spoiled milk all the time.
Oh my god. Nah. But aside from that, yeah, no, you get those forms filled out. He hands them off to you, and you are able to leave if you so desire.
Yeah. He's gonna.
Also, minor aside, Rensois, you got some background noise.
Francois?
That's just
Yeah,
Reddit's bot talking. That's just how they sound.
Oh,
They've reached that age. Now they're just an adult.
No.
I'm back.
Ayo, you're back. We can hear background noise as well. Was all.
Oh, probably from me opening the door.
No, it happens. Anyway, moving along, that is your first thing, Agathar. Rensois, what are you and Morrigan doing as you're both kind of like sitting there in a chair, vibing? If anything in particular, I'll say by this point in time, Morrigan, you can functionally move again, but it's like half movement speed. You're like sliding forward pretty much.
I use my staff as its initial purpose, a staff.
Yeah.
Okay. Still wanted to get around to a few things. I was not aware how horrible one would feel after making a wish.
Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, not very often I get a free moment to peruse and purchase without the looming task I had initially had. So I have a lot of actual spare gold instead of just a hoard that was sitting in my pocket. So, I don't know. Find something nice and shiny to buy to make myself feel better after magically gut punching myself with a good deed.
I see. You have to counteract such a selfless act with a selfish one, huh? As she kind of like buries her nose in your neck playfully.
I would have it no other way. She giggles as you use your bunny nose to tickle the very soft nape of her neck.
You guys hear from nearby. You guys hear from nearby. Hey, Morrigan, I could have told you about the backlash of a wish spell.
Just this slow turn of her head, that, not like a smooth turn, just the kind of creaky, just to look at them as I'm trying, I'm having a nice moment, and then the slime girdle's like, I knew the thing. Oh, well. Good for you.
I mean, I forgot to tell you, I'm sorry. I was distracted by the scraps.
Yeah, it's okay, dearie.
Bites her tongue to say something meaner than that.
It's grumble, grumble, grumble.
Essentially. Well, the market is open, and I have a rather large sum, so why not we take the opportunity to go peruse the shops? I certainly can find you something nice.
I do have a decent stash of cash myself.
Who said you would be buying anything?
I never know what to spend it on.
Kind of makes a sort of jutting her lower lip and lowering her eyelids as she kind of appraises you.
Rensois, you can hear a skittering along the ground. And there's someone kind of she is now beside the chair. Her
Who,
two
Amalia?
Yeah. Her two little smaller hands just on the edge of it. Her face half peeking up over it, looking up at you, Rensois.
You almost see Morrigan start to wind her staff back, "Oh, too so hard."
And Francois will kind of just look over to yes, dear.
I know what you could spend your money on.
Good for you, you gluttonous.
It would be really
What is
nice.
that?
It would be really nice if I could have a bunch of snacks and stuff. You know, food and whatnot. That'd be really nice. It's supposed to be super cheap here and stuff, so it wouldn't cost all that much, probably.
Amalia.
She will.
Her long
lean
tail
over.
is just whipping back and forth, just whoopsie, 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 whoopsie.
You sure we
She-
have to keep it?
She leans over and just pats Amelia.
Amalia.
Now, dear, or Amalia. Sorry.
It's okay.
What the fuck did I say?
Amelia.
I have no idea why. Well, I know why. I woke up from a nap not that long before game.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, she pats Amalia and is like, and now, dearie, you get food from Morrigan.
Rumpiest face.
It's important to be appreciative of what you have.
I do appreciate it. I just like more, you know.
Contribute.
I mean, I can kind of contribute a little bit.
Explain.
Well, if you give me stuff, I can make other stuff with it.
Like,
it depends on what it is.
example.
I don't know any.
Then what good is your ability if you can't give me any idea of what you are capable of? I can take a piece of paper and make it into an airplane with enough folds that's not useful.
Well, if you handed me that fancy dancy staff there, I could show you.
No.
Aww.
not trusting you with one of my artifacts so you can play magical vacuum.
It's not magical vacuum. It's magical transmogrifier.
I like my staff of fire. It burns things.
Okay. You got anything on you? Looks to Francois.
What, suit-wise?
I mean, like a magic item you're not using, or like, you know, something that you don't mind not having anymore.
Thinks for a moment, looks at her staff. Can you combine things? Take several items and can join them.
Probably.
That is not. It's like a gamble.
I've never done it before.
Then why are you offering?
Well, I mean, I've never done multiple items before. I've done like small things before, though.
Francois thinks I might actually have something for you.
Oh, what is it?
And she will kind of, well, Morgan's probably in her lap, so she'll kind of set Morgan off to stand up. It's in my room.
Okay, I can follow you there.
I'll just stay here.
You want me to carry you like a baby?
No, I don't want you to touch me.
Oh, okay. She's going to skitter on all 6 of her limbs after you, Rensois.
Yeah, Francois will like lean down and give Morgan a smooch on the forehead. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Before making her way up the stairs
Oh.
to her room.
Amalia is also going to kind of like stand up, then lean over and give Morgan a smooch on the forehead. Bye, Morgan.
Just a whack with the staff between her eyes.
No!
She gets close.
Why?
Imagine her head caves in with the staff and it just stays like that.
It doesn't. It hits the armor she has. She's like, oh, why?
Did not
So
want a
none of it-
smooch from you.
It's
So
what
none of it's giggling.
it's what she did. It's how you say goodbye, right?
You are not in a relationship with me.
But we're friends.
Not that kind of a relationship. Just go.
Oh, okay. she'll walk away, looking dejected.
Good.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
The Amalia relationship is so.
I love Amalia so fucking much.
Alright, Francois will lead her up to her room. And she'll kind of pause at the door, thinking partially about her rock collection and slightly worries, and turns to Amalia's like, wait out here for just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Before she'll go into her room and close the door, because she's like, the last thing she needs is Amalia to be like, ooh, shiny rocks.
Can I
Turn
have
around,
that
come
one?
Back to the hallway. It's on fire.
Destroying her organization.
Why are my rocks all mixed up? I sorted them by taste.
Yes.
Like a permanent imprint on each side of the rock.
But she will. She'll be gone only a little bit before she'll come back out with kind of like just something wrapped in like kind of like just basically an old cloak. And she'll be like, I've had this a bit, but well, knowing what I know with Morrigan, I don't have much need for it anymore, or really want it too close to her. And she will unwrap the bundle, and she will unwrap her old +1 moonsicle.
Oh.
Oh.
She looks at it, she's like, oh, that's a good thing right there.
Yes.
Are you wanting me to eat it, or just you're trying to mix it up into something else?
No, you can have it.
Yay! I like magic items. They taste the best. They taste all tingly and stuff.
Just dislike having this woman around who can eat my home.
She will very happily take it.
The moonsicle.
All right, she will very happily accept the moonsicle, and then just kind of like into the belly. At which point you see the item itself begin to shimmer for a few seconds before going dull and then dissolving away. Amalia's eyes go hazy, and she's like, "Ah, it's a good thing. It tastes all naturey."
I'm sure it does. And
I had
she'll
my salad for the day.
once again pat, and then we'll just start
then
walking past
she
her
will-
back downstairs.
Then she'll put a large hand on you and say, "Oh, hold on. I think I feel something." And then she just kind of like, and then just spits. Hawks a loogie onto the ground. You see this, and you hear like a little ting 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 of metal hitting the ground as a pendant has been left in its wake. You see it is currently encased in this thick Icarus teal slime, which slowly rises upwards and goes and then just slithers away back into Amalia.
She will give a slightly forced smile at that. What is...
I don't know. Something druidic, probably. You can have it.
I see. You are... Thank you, Amalia.
No, thank you. You're so nice to me. And she'll just kind of like wrap you in a four-armed hug.
Oh, okay.
She squeezes very tightly. You feel your bones begin to creak.
Amalia.
Oh,
Bobby.
oh yeah. I'm not supposed to hug that tight. And she lets you go. I one time broke someone's spine, and I had to use magic to fix them.
Let's try to avoid that.
Yeah, I know. That guy
she'll-
was screaming so loudly.
She will reach down and pick up the pendant.
All right. As you pick it up, you feel a mild affinity for it, almost. And you notice that it is no longer silver, but cold iron instead. And you feel a connection to it, almost. And the pendant itself, basically as you kind of like move it back and forth, it's like a holographic design. You see a moon waxing and waning on it.
That's actually rather pretty. As she's just kind of like fondling it in her hand and kind of turning it about in the lights of the hallway.
Yeah, if you don't want, I can eat it again.
No, I think I'll keep it. Thank
Okay.
you, Amalia.
Oh, yeah, you're making me feel so good saying thank you and stuff. Shut it, Vaelyn. She will say though. Oh, by the by, if I did eat it again, it would be gone for good. As my master once said, magic can only be transmogrified only a certain amount of times. Probably. I forget things.
Transmogrified here.
Yeah, that one.
Alright, well, let's get back downstairs before Morrigan thinks you've eaten.
Well, you didn't want me to put a bald spot on your head. That's why you didn't invite me in your room.
She will elect to just smile and walk down. Like, this is not a conversation.
I have painted her for the better.
Fight the people who are like, where's the eggs? I have to fight them a whole bunch.
Morrigan's just like, maybe she doesn't look so bad.
I will know who has touched the slime by looking at the back of their head.
Alright.
A mark of shame will be left there.
Soren, it's your turn. What are you doing, Bobby? How is your date going? In fact, let me roll to see if anything has happened.
Like, I was
What
about
is
to say,
Soren
why
doing?
you,
Her, probably.
I was about to say, like, why are you asking me? You're the DM.
Hey, buddy, give me a high or a low.
Hi.
A
Hi.
medium.
Oh boy! It is a very, very cute date. You have gone to one of the more expensive restaurants in Deepwood, and your entire meal was a gold. And what they did for that meal is they brought forth a 5-course dinner.
So a gold each, or just a gold total?
A gold total.
Dang.
Yeah, food here is dirt cheap because of its abundance. So the first course is a salad. The second course is... Oh, sorry. The first course is bread, obviously. Second course is salad. Third course, which is kind of like the main course, is a meat platter with some fruits and veggies on the side that have all been mixed together into like this ratatouille style of food, if that makes sense. Except it's much bigger portions. And then there is another salad afterwards to kind of like act as a palate cleanser, followed of course by a dessert, which is a chocolate mousse style cake with a bit of a cheesecake additive to it. It is very fancy, very, very, very fancy. And of course, after each section of food is brought out, they bring out basically to-go boxes that they then load the rest of it into, so that way you can take the rest of it home. So you're not forced to eat all of the salad all the salad and bread. You only eat as much as you want, and then they will load the rest of that into a to-go box, and they have like basically 2 5-stacks of to-go boxes for the both of you by the end of the meal, because I assume you guys can't eat that much.
No, Soren absolutely would not eat all of that in one sitting. He would probably want to die.
Enwyn is at least able to nibble and eat a good amount of the food that she is offered, but not like all of it, obviously. And she managed to pace herself throughout. But as the two of you are enjoying your meal and stuff, what do you talk about?
Well, Soren would probably, since she's a bard, she's probably interested in hearing about adventures of adventurers and the exploits that they get into. He basically tells her about the time they were in Mirzai and how he got turned into a woman, for a short period, and just essentially like goes through all the hardships that he went through and how he managed to pull through them with the help of his friends and whatnot. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. He's probably not going to mention the fact that he's a linchpin right now, as if I recall correctly, if he were to mention anything about the Archmages, she wouldn't hear it anyways.
It would be the Lale that she hears about.
Yeah.
Um.
So he's not going to mention any of that.
All right then. Well, how deep do you go into your exploits of Mirzai?
He won't go too deep. Like he won't tell her about Caligrin. As that's probably just going to start a panic in her. He's not going to he's not going to go in depth towards the suffering of the people. But he'll just basically say that yeah, they were in a bad spot, and that hopefully their actions have caused things to come out for the better. All right then. Well, she is certainly very appreciative of the fact that you did help out those people by the end of it all. And while you're sitting there and eating and chatting and chit-chatting and stuff, roll a perception. 19.
Who's that? A familiar rabbit folk. Bethany says hello.
As your dessert is brought out, you recognize one of the waitstaff. A fairly young half-elven woman, with some light scaling on her facial features and along the shoulders, wearing a uniform for this particular restaurant. And as her green eyes kind of like lock over with yours, she kind of like stiffens a bit, and she's like, oh! And then, she whispers over to another person and just approaches. Soren Wanderwind. Who would have thought I'd ever run into you here?
And Soren does recognize her, yeah?
Yeah, this is Sarah, I believe.
Sylvia, was it?
Sylvia, thank you. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's the one in the jail cell, right?
No. Sylvia is the former bandit lord that got betrayed. And
okay,
yeah,
the one Soren scared the piss out of.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And doesn't go too.
Yes.
So he looks up at her and goes, "Oh, Sylvia, how have you been?"
I've been doing really well, and I see you're here with someone. Evening to you. I hope you've enjoyed the meal. Yeah, I have a lot. It's really good stuff. Good to hear. Soren, could I talk to you for a minute?
His smile kind of just disappears, and he goes, sure, for a moment, excuse me, Annie, I'm gonna go talk to her for a second.
Sure thing. Another one of your girlfriends, she says with a light teasing tone to her, but you can see there's like a bit of mild worry to her.
He says, no, just someone I made acquaintance with, on one of my trips here to Deepwood, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
And as he leaves the table, he's gonna lean over and kiss her on the cheek, and
she is gonna blush so hard, and just kind of go, "Oh, you shucks you," and then just kind of like tuck her head down and go back to just like munching very, very softly on the salad that she has.
So yeah, Soren stands up tall and follows Sylvia where she's going.
As she walks by one of the other waitstaff, she says, "I'm taking a break. I have to talk with someone about important stuff. Sorry. And she emerges outside of the restaurant with you and takes you around to a nearby alleyway, where she kind of like stands and goes, Okay, so what happened in Mirzai?
Oh well, first I'm surprised you recognize me, and he points to his eyes and his fangs, and he says, "Well,
I will admit I did not notice those at first, but now that I do, I am concerned. Are you okay?
oh, I'm fine. For the last month before today, I wasn't, but that was all part of the course for becoming stronger in a way. Uh, this was a skill acquisition.
Right. Adventurers. Yeah, obviously. Anyway, sorry. So what the fuck happened in Mirzai?
Oh, what the
didn't
fuck
happen?
didn't happen in Mirzai? Well,
Like, I haven't had any communication with any of my family members ever since, like, I don't know.
where were your family members living?
The slums, obviously.
In Fort Providence?
Yeah, that's the only place to live. Like, goblins attack everywhere else.
Hmm. Well, like I said, a lot's happened. Fort Providence has been, shall we say, destroyed for the most part, but they are rebuilding. I, I didn't even have enough time to go looking for anybody. Although I do have a contact that I can check on to see if they can find your folks.
That would be much appreciated. You see her kind of just, like, put a hand to her mouth and just kind of turn away from you.
He's gonna put a hand on her shoulder and he says, "I'm sorry it came to that. Things just got out of hand really quickly."
What? You're
What?
not saying that you had anything to do with it, are you?
Not directly. It was. I don't exactly know how to put this.
Soren, you can always just say it was the big sandstorm.
Yeah. Says,
Do-do-do-do-do.
he says, things led up. No, just led up to a point, and a giant sandstorm appeared.
A giant, but, but the barrier defenses should have stopped that from destroying the city, from affecting it at all. Really, it should have stopped it at the gates.
The barrier was not functioning at the time.
What?
It was destroyed by someone I can't really mention right now.
You know, tell me you at least tried to bring them to justice, or you stopped them from doing more, right?
He takes a deep sigh and exhales and he says, "I would have if I could, but this being is incredibly powerful."
She is going to incite you.
All right. He's telling the truth. Like,
I know. She looks at you for a long moment before just sighing. Well, I mean, you have no real reason to lie, and I mean, going by your personality type, yeah, no, you probably would. Fuck, man.
look, I'll try to reach someone there to see if they can ask for them. What were your folks' name?
Woodborough. That was my family name.
All right. Then I will ask the current power that's there to the current person in power there to see if they can locate and identify them. And I will bring you any news.
Okay, thank you, and I appreciate that. I'm sorry I interrupted your day, but like, I haven't heard from my family in the past 3, 4. Like, I haven't heard from them in a week almost, and I They have never gone that long without responding to one of my letters.
Well,
So,
at best, it's probably just because things are still recovering over there, and they may just not have had a chance. Wealth is the wealth is being redistributed over there, as far as I know.
wait, what happened to the Debt Lords?
They are, shall we say, deposed for the time being. Some of them are deposed. Others are going to be brought in line.
One of them is dead.
I mean, Soren's technically not lying.
Absolutely.
Really? Like, gosh, I thought it was impossible to depose them. Like, they have all the money and resources of small nations in and of themselves.
Not anymore, they don't.
Apparently not. Damn, like...
Incredible what you can accomplish when you turn against the rich. I mean, what?
I'm sorry.
Do you at least know what happened to the Debt Lord, Masquara Nelm?
Masquara was the one that Aggie.
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
one Aggie bladed.
Yes.
He's going to crook an eyebrow at her and say, "Before I tell you, may I ask why?"
He was the holder of my family's debt.
Hmm.
Not
Well,
anymore, he's not.
he's
Now
going
I am.
he's going to smile and say, "Well, I think I can safely say that he no longer holds the contract to their debt."
Why not? What is he? She kind of like leans forward and whispers conspiratorially, "Is he dead?"
Soren, does he tell her? He's not going to tell her immediately. He's just going to say, "If your parents yet live, maybe they can give you
Yes.
the news to that."
I don't.
And he says that with a smile.
She's gonna incite you. Hey, look at that! Super high. Like, you see her pause for a second, and then she kind of like you see her eyes go wide, and then she does like a small fist bump, like, yes, just sorry, I don't normally like it when people like die or anything like that, but like, just
But fuck that guy.
guy was a bigger bandit than
He's
I
not a
ever
person.
was.
He was a piece of work.
Oh, so you met him? Good, then you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Unfortunately, I did, and I could go the
Fuck
rest
that
of my
guy.
life without ever having met him.
Yeah. You know, there was one time that there was one time someone tried to spit on him as he was walking by in his little like bubble that he traveled in, and of course, you know, nothing reached him because magic and money and all that other shit, right? That person was hung for a, and she will put up her fingers and use quotations, assassination attempt.
He furrows his brow and narrows his eyes. He says, "You know, that accusation actually makes sense, knowing the kind of man he was, knowing what little I know of him.
Bro folded so fast.
He was a clean freak, shall we say? So it makes sense that he would view that as an assassination attempt.
Mm-hmm.
He's still wrong, and I ain't excusing it, but
No, I get it. But, that's good news at the very least. I hope my family is okay. Thank you for offering to help get in contact with them. But I'll let you get back to your date. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but, like, I saw you. I hadn't heard from my family in forever. I knew you were going to Mirzai, so I just had to ask about that.
Of course, I mean, I was over there, and anything that I can do to either give you comfort or closure, I want to do.
She'll nod, and then she'll just kind of shuffle her feet a little bit before saying, I really have a lot to thank you for. Not only my life, because, hey, you spared it, yay! But also for at least clearing my family's debt.
Of course, and I'm sorry I was so upset when we first met.
No, I get it. No matter who you are, whenever you get robbed, you're kind of having a bad day.
It wasn't just the attempt on me life for me riches and wealth, it was also other things that happened that day. But it just kind of built on top of each other to make an angry Wonderwind.
Of course, but I mean, like, it still goes without saying, most people would have just fucking murdered me. Or the rest of my men, but, like, you didn't. You stayed your blade, and, well, she kind of, like, gestures to herself, look at how that turned out. I'm gainfully employed. I mean, shit, the 1,000 gold you gave me was, like, more than I could have ever wanted to just start a new life here, and, like, did you know I'm actually going to the school now?
Oh, excellent. What'd you learn him?
Just how to better control my sorceress magic, the usuals. But
I can't think of a better place, honestly.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, it was the money you gave me and just, like, the opportunity to kind of do better that helped me. And thank you for that.
You're
And
welcome.
also, I'll ask the manager to take your meal out of my tips, okay?
Oh, you don't need to do that.
No. I want to, okay? And also, I get tipped like a lot of gold here anyway, or a lot of money here anyway, so it's no big deal.
I appreciate it, but I am flush. I don't know how much you have left of that 1,000 gold I gave you last time, but you should probably keep that for yourself. Again, I appreciate it. I really do. But I'm loaded. I have lots of money, and the gesture is very, very kind. And I'll remember that.
Alright, fine. You get off easy this time, okay? But next time you walk into this restaurant, you're getting paid for.
He puts a finger to his chest and says, it's incredibly rare that restaurants will pay me to eat their food. And he kind of smirks and raises an eyebrow at her.
I mean, hey, what can I say? I'm thankful. But I'll let you get back to your girlfriend, okay?
Right.
And hey, look at you. She's a real cutie.
She really is. And he's basically just gonna leave. He's just gonna like turn his head back to the direction of the front door of the restaurant and just be like, "Aye, she really is. It's just a shame she doesn't know it."
Well, I'm sure if you keep telling her that, she'll have to believe it someday.
No, I intend to.
You're a good man, Soren Wanderwind. Not many like you.
He shrugs and with a smile says, "Hey, what can I say? I like to surprise."
She'll give you a small, like, bump on the shoulder, and then she'll kind of, like, let you walk back in. She'll walk back in herself.
He's going to head back to the table with Enwin.
And when kind of like watches the two of you walk back in, and and as you sit back down, she just kind of like brushes some hair behind an ear. So what was all that about, if you don't mind my asking?
He sits down next to her and gives her another smooch on the cheek, and he says, "Well, that's her name is Sylvia.
She gives you a narrowed look at the second smooch. Trying to butter me up here, because you're about to tell me something."
So does she stop him from kissing her? Or?
No. She doesn't. She accepts it. She's just poking fun and teasing at you.
He kind of, let's see, if she's teasing, he's gotta
Oh my god.
feel the insight, and he's gonna be like, it's not what it looked like. Her name is Sylvia. I met her a long time ago, a while before I met you, honestly. She, believe it or not, was part of a bandit raid that decided to try and blindside us while we were asleep on the road. I was the only one awake, and I fought back. Ended up killing one of them because I was in a very bad mood, and ended up sparing her life. Met her a second time, miraculously I might add, and she was alright. And we sat and chat. I was in a better mood, and I gave her. She told me where she came from and why she took up the bandit life. It's because, and he basically runs through like her family's in Mirzai. They were victims of the debt lords, and she needed a lot of money, and that's why she took up banditry. Blah blah blah. He goes through like her situation, and then says she wanted to pull me aside to ask what happened in Mirzai since we just came back from there. So I gave her a little update.
She listens to your story with rapt attention, and whenever you kind of like fully explain it, she just nods and goes, "Okay, well, I mean, that's good at the very least. I mean, I'm happy that she's, clearly a lot better off, it seems."
He nods and he says, she took the money I gave her and made good with it. She's in school now. She's learning to control her power, and maybe she'll become a good adventurer herself.
Or she might just use that magic to just make her life a bit simpler and easier. Most people who go to the college actually just do that.
That's also a possibility.
Adventuring can be kind of dangerous if you believe it.
Oh, trust me.
Everyone sneezes.
Is preaching to the choir an ism
Yes.
here? And okay, he goes, "Oh, you're preaching to the choir there, Annie." I've seen my share of danger, and I don't know if I told you, but I died numerous times in that puzzle dungeon.
Well, most people who go there will die numerous times in that puzzle dungeon.
Hopefully not anymore, but it was a thing I had to go through, and what gave me my fear of poison. But hopefully that's all aside now.
Hopefully. And then she'll kind of like reach over and tentatively take his hand in hers, and she'll lean over and give him a little smooch on the cheek, and then just kind of like rest her head on his shoulder. Is she like approaching his face slowly, or is she doing it quickly? Give me a high or low.
Low.
He said low. He said low. It's low. It's slow.
He quickly turns his head to face her, and he's of course got a grin on his face, and he says, since we've been going on the cheek quite a bit, you wanna have one the direct way?"
Oh boy. Roll a Riz check, my man. At
Sword,
advantage.
holy shit!
The Rizzler.
The Rizzler.
Roll a charisma check. Add what?
At advantage.
At advantage. Okay.
Charisma.
11.
Hey. It's enough to make her blush. And just go, oh, you, and then she'll actually just give you a kiss on the lips. And it's a very soft,
Fuck yeah.
it's a very sweet smooch. And she kind of like squeezes your hand a little bit, and then she'll rest her head on your shoulder.
He squeezes her hand back, and as she rests her head on his shoulder, he's going to start to put his arm around her, and then stop and say, "Is it all right if I put my arm around you?"
She looks up at you with those very big eyes of hers. What's your body telling you? Stud. She'll wink.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Let's see.
My body's telling me I want to take you to a bedroom now.
It's telling me no.
He says, "Well, it's telling me that it belongs around there. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't overstepping a bound."
Soren, if you ever do overstep a boundary, I'll let you know before you overstep it.
He smiles and says, "I'll hold you to that."
And you put your arm around her and she snuggles up into you.
I gotta turn up this fan. God damn.
And it is a warm and intimate moment. And placed upon your table by Sylvia herself are 2 glasses of wine that the 2 of you did not order, but was placed there all the same, as she kind of like gives you a wink and just continues to stroll on by, pretending as if you did indeed order it, when in fact you probably didn't.
No, he didn't. So he's going to just kind of going to smile warmly at her and nod a thank you. And then after she walks away, he's just going to also like lay his head on top of hers.
All right. And as we pan the camera out and away,
Soy Fang watching from a different table.
and as we
The
pan
one
the
coming right
camera,
now is Vaelyn. Now Pain.
and as we
Yeah.
pan the camera out and away, enough of that sweet shit. It's time for pain.
More dealing with Amalia.
That's pain for one person. This is pain for everybody.
No.
Fair enough.
It's far worse. It's far worse than that.
Alright, I open up my character sheet. At least I reorganized it.
Well, that's kind of fucked up though. The entire time I was waiting for the twist. I was waiting for something to happen in that entire interaction. I was like, I don't trust this. I don't trust like that.
Hey, Soren. In the chat.
Point.
So,
Scared.
as Lucas, as you turn around, Vaelyn, and you see Lucas standing before you, his hood is over his head, and he is standing there with his arms outstretched, as if expecting a hug.
Jesus wants a hug.
Well,
damn it.
if it isn't my long-lost protege, pray tell, how have you been these fine summer days?
What I wouldn't give to have subtle spell.
What do you do?
It's almost like that's the entire reason Shad should pick sorcerer.
Vaelyn will draw his weapon. Let's go.
As you go to draw your weapon, you find yourself looking at Lucas, and you feel that anger, that hatred, that vitriol bubbling within you, that desire to kill this man in front of you that seems to broil away, and you start to notice various parts of him. The way his laugh is, the way his hips sway as he strolls about the area around you. You almost find him attractive.
Gross.
In fact, why is he starting to look like just your type of person? What's going on? Aren't you supposed to hate him? But what is hate but another form of love? And as your mind starts to spiral down this path, like Lucas snaps his fingers a couple times, and you find yourself broken out of that thought spiral. Seems as if my aura was influencing you already. My apologies for that. I assure you, I mean no harm in the slightest. It's funny for me, you know, to watch those lifelong enemies I have made trip over themselves to propose to me after but a few moments of simply being around me. It can be quite scandalous indeed. However, I am not attempting to sway you emotionally, because I have come to you on this fine day with a proposition. Isn't that just wonderful?
Why should I accept any proposition from you? As... fucking...
I will say currently you find yourself unable to do any kind of hostile action to him.
I mean, I don't have to do direct hostile action.
Even using your anti-immortality thing.
Passive aggressiveness, however, that's on the table still.
Yeah.
As it stands, you
You're
cannot...
good at being a dick.
As it stands, you simply cannot target this man right now.
Again, who says that I have to directly target him? You forget one of my favorite spells.
Your Vaelyn lighting isn't gonna work against the Shad lighting.
I mean, hey. Depends.
Passive damage. Let's go. Spirit Guardian attempt.
You find yourself unable to cast your spell. You know that in your heart it would hurt him. And it hurts you to even think about it.
Yeah, I can't do anything. Or unless...
He lifts up a finger and waggles it back and forth. You didn't say the magic word. Now, you asked why I came around here, what kind of proposition I could make that you would be intrigued by. Well, allow me to explain. I know that you likely won't want to hear it, but think of it like this. If I truly wanted to take you away, I would. Instead, I am even going so far as to try and turn my uncontrollable aura down. That surely has to account for something, does it not? After all, you're not currently trying to give me a hug or something more salacious. As it stands, you just simply find yourself unable to attack me or be hostile towards me even. Which I will say, I am quite wounded that you would try and hurt me so. I know that we haven't had the best of relationships with one another, but I like to think of you as my own son. someone that I consider to be beloved by myself.
Don't let your ego get in the way. Let's attempt to break free through self-harm. Crimson Right. See if damage will free myself from this.
Okay. You slice yourself, and blood trickles and pours,
1 damage. Alright, I'll take it.
but nothing happens. I mean, aside from your Crimson Right thing. You see him.
Nothing happens except for your edginess increases.
Yes, you do see him go. Oh, that's a new thing. That must be part of the new timeline. Well, regardless, we'll get to that momentarily. You see, Vaelyn, you may not think it, but I have become rather attached to you, Lana, and formerly Vani even. You were each wonderful additions to my grand design in your own special little ways. However, just recently, someone has gone so far as to rewrite the fabric of reality to deny me what is mine. However, in doing so, they have inadvertently caused you so much more damage and trauma. And so, I fear that your relationship between myself has been rendered quite tumultuous as a result. And I also fear that your relationship between yourself and your friends is going to take a very, very sharp downward spiral. After all, that one woman, Morrigan, I think her name you said was, she did cause you quite a lot of pain.
Vaelyn never said anyone's name, so this...
I do it again.
Let's attempt this. Dispel magic on himself. He's trying.
When you go to cast the spell, he holds up a hand, and you feel the suggestion settle over you. I'm not hostile, Vaelyn. Please, stop struggling and just hear me out. You already know that you don't stand a chance. And that sounds reasonable, Vaelyn. No more dispelling magic. No more struggling.
God damn it. I do have inspiration. Don't make me force it.
That's not gonna work, my man.
If you want to use your inspiration, you may certainly do so.
Damn it, Divine Inspiration, or Divine Intervention is still on cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not. Probably gonna save it for something else.
Okay.
Oh, fuck you.
He starts to slowly pace around you, forming a slow and intentional circle. Those green eyes of his never once leaving you. Good boy. Now that you'll stop struggling and being a little nuisance, you'll finally have to listen to me. I'm sure you'll find yourself intrigued in some regard. You see, I have been spying on your little caravan for quite a while, and let me tell you, the things I have seen, the way people act towards you and speak about you is disgusting. It's almost as if they don't really care about you. And after all you've done for them too, saving their lives and whatnot, only to turn on you the second you fail to conform to their love of Mel, please! As if they could comprehend the suffering you have gone through at her hands, not to mention the enslavement. Hell, I even warned her in the fine print of the contract of yours not to destroy it, but what does she do? She breaks it, and in doing so, rips your mind apart. Isn't that just a travesty?
Vaelyn doesn't respond, instead just watches Lucas. Essentially he can't move or
No.
act.
I mean, he can move, he can talk, he just, no casting spells.
Yeah, no casting spells, no using weapons. Yep. Like I said, essentially can't do anything at the moment.
You can talk to him. You can, fire back.
No.
He frowns. You're really not making this very fun for me. Here I was hoping to get some questions from you, but no, none at all. Not even a question of why I'm here. Just shrugs and gestures around.
Just continues to watch.
Just pinches the bridge of his nose. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Starting to agree with the rest of us. You really are horrible.
My gosh, you would think one would get some kind of character development here. Anyway.
I can't even do it and I'm all powerful.
Regardless, I am here today to make you an offer, a deal even. One that I think you might be particularly interested in, as I know it will certainly help you remember more of your past. He smiles and holds up a hand. While I know in my heart you would never allow me to touch your mind with my magic, beyond what I've done already, I could fix all the damage that pesky little contract caused, but since you won't allow me to, I have alternative methods. A way to give you back every memory you have lost and even help you make sense of the new ones you have. He smiles. Kind of like gestures to him. Eh?
Vaelyn just continues to watch and be silent. He's not gonna play into his little fantasy at the moment.
Vaelyn. There is such a thing as a witty repartee between two individuals, yes? You know what? We'll work on that. We'll work on that. Oh, give me a second. I have to... Let me get these out of there. Okay. Had to free up some storage space. Anyway. Okay, that's still there. That's still there. Good. You see, I am currently without a particularly powerful chess piece ever since your little friend interfered with my plans, but such is life. So I happen to need the work of a willing individual for a couple missions of mine. You won't even be working alone! So what do you say? A month or so of work for me and I'll drop you off right back into the lap of your cute little party, assuming you even wish to be among them after seeing just what you will be doing. You'll be making a real difference in this war, rather than just finding artifacts for a bunch of posturing hypocrites. He smiles.
Isn't one of those hypocrites yourself?
Oh, I never said I was any better than them. I just said that my goals have the opportunity to make a real difference in the war, rather than just giving people a little invitation to a little group meeting. You know, what you're currently doing.
Mentally, Vaelyn is still trying to struggle to break free.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's just watching.
He kind of like he kind of like looks at you.
Immovable fucking wall.
He kind of like looks at you and he's just like, you know, this would be just, do you realize how easy it would be for me to just kind of take you and make you something entirely new? I'm being nice here, and you won't even give me the time of day. I'm even offering you a job and compensation for your work. And still, nothing.
Compensation for work that lies more in your favor than mine.
Who said it was work that was just in my favor? I said it would help the war effort. It's gonna help everyone. Because, believe it or not, these Caligran individuals are very bad for business. I want them gone just as much as anyone else.
You want them gone for your own little game, your own little schemes.
Well, most people do, to be honest. Having a bunch of genocidal maniacs running around trying to kill all the magic people is bad for everyone, as some might say. They're not going to stop at just Celeste, at just Arbor. They'll come down to Vitrium, then Vuori, then Mirzai again, and then Xanadu even, and then Ember Sticks, and they will just encompass everywhere. Executions for days, really. Bunches of innocent people. If you're not gonna do it for me, at least do it for them. Have you a heart?
Many would say, I rather don't.
Yes, I know, and it's a tragedy, isn't it? They just don't understand you. Not like I do. I can't tell if you're quiet because Vaelyn is just quiet or because you're thinking.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay. Okay.
We've been here for how many episodes, Shad? This should be like. Interview.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
It's called holding out hope. I think the DM's allowed to do that.
Well, I suppose you're giving me the silent treatment. As is to be expected from a child to their parent. Although, you know, I suppose I could go get my old chess piece back. My old daughter. Your sister, Vani.
Let's see. Can't cast spells, can't make weapon actions. This is probably his last ditch effort. Channel Divinity, his new one.
Meaning?
It most likely will not work. But here's hoping for a nat 1.
You know what? Let's see.
Always possible.
Let's roll it. What's your spell save DC, buddy?
17.
17.
What is that? That's a con save.
Alright. You see him kind of like briefly lock up and then move
Jeez it.
15 feet away from you.
Jeez it. Run!
And as that happens,
Rattle 'em, boys.
you don't feel that hold on you vanish.
Alright. And I was kind of hoping that he would hit himself with his most powerful attack, but that works too.
And as he straightens himself up, he goes, should have anticipated something like that. You did take on your sister's trauma, but you know what? Seeing as how you don't want to listen, maybe I will go retrieve Vani.
You said that it didn't lift?
No, it did not. You can still talk, though.
Don't you dare.
Oh. But you clearly don't want to listen. You don't want to talk. You don't want to parlay, even. So why should I not? Come on. Tempt me.
What else can I do?
You can't ability your way out of this.
Use your words, Vaelyn. They're important. They're what separate the men from the beasts.
Amen, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
I don't wanna.
No. Oh, Lord, fuck.
In fact, you know what? I tire of this conversation. You're really not as much of a conversationalist as I thought you might be. So, I'm going to
wasn't
count.
watching the caravan that closely.
So I'm going to count to 3. On the third count, I'll be gone. 1. He starts moving, and he steps past you. 2.
Don't harm them.
want to harm them.
This is you we're speaking of. You might not think that it's harming. Everything you do is poison.
Vaelyn, I'm not in the business of harming people. That's not what I want.
Simply erasing their existence and changing who they were.
He does a small little spin, and he strolls back into your vision range, unless you turn around to go look at him.
No.
He strolls back into vision. So, I'll have you know that I'm not in the business of lying. Whenever I say something, I speak the truth.
One could say otherwise.
One could say otherwise. But I know myself, and you don't.
I should know plenty.
Probably, but I'm not one to lie, Vaelyn. And I will never lie to you. I care about you and your siblings all too much. So, whenever I tell you, and I do mean this honestly, that there's no hard feelings between us when it comes to the situation regarding your father and your upbringing. I do mean that. I also say no hard feelings when it comes to destroying a very expensive simulacrum that I made of Bethany. No hard feelings when it comes to that either. And no hard feelings when it comes to you wanting to murder me and kill me and rip my guts out of my chest and so on and so forth. I understand that it goes against your moral compass, whatever it is, to even consider working with me. But here's the sitch. We have important things to work on. And because I've been denied one of my most important daughters, I have to make use of one of my sons instead. And well, you're clearly the more interesting choice.
Why should I even let you anywhere near my head?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not going to be anywhere near your head.
And yet, that's what you said I'd get in the end.
No. I said that I could fix your mind like that, with a personal magical touch to it. I could put all those little jigsaw pieces back together, rearrange the ones that were mixed and matched whenever Mel did her hapdash job attempt. But I know you won't trust that. So I have alternative methods. Ones that don't rely on me, per se. And that is what I'm offering. You see, I can be amicable, too.
You've given me no reason to trust you. I'd sooner trust Mel again than you.
That stings. But not as badly as you think it would. I know what I did made you strong. After all, you're unbreakable now. Isn't that fun?
The way to become this way wasn't easy, nor was it painless.
The path to power never is easy, but you know what they say, only through suffering.
Seems like you and Mel had the same teacher. Aren't you from Soup? How old are you? Suba, perhaps?
You know what? He holds out a hand. Come with me and I'll tell you.
Stay out of their way. Don't let them get caught into any of your little plans.
I can't help what threads of fate entwine, but I will not directly interfere with their little plans.
One day I will kill you.
Of that I have no doubt you will certainly attempt, and I look forward to it.
Already scared one Archmage. Enough.
Mel would be scared of a cricket if she thought it could kill her.
Not if she set up runes specifically to prevent something that could kill her.
You will have to tell me how you set that off.
Never. At least not willingly.
Ooh. Now you're just tempting me. Still, shake on it.
Just lead the way.
No, we have to shake on it.
No. You and your deals are as much like dealing with those of the hells. Lead the way.
What? I asked you for a rough month of approximated work. In exchange, I would not interfere with your compatriots. Where's the Faustian to that bargain?
I don't like your funny words, Magic Man.
It sounds like a great deal to me. Doesn't it to you?
And I say again, your deals are as almost crafty as those with the hells. Always finding a way to find loopholes.
Fine. Don't take the certainty. See how far it gets you. He'll then place a hand on your shoulder. Say goodbye to Vitrium.
And a quick sending spell.
No spell.
Well, fuck you too then.
Damn.
No spell. He waits very patiently for you to say goodbye to Vitrium. Just makes like a little gesture of, come on, we don't have all day.
And I said, lead the way.
Party pooper, you're no fun.
Get
And then,
used to that.
oh, I'm already going to. And with that, he'll snap his fingers, and the two of you will disappear in a puff of light green conjuration magic.
And the one says he's back in like 20 minutes. Like, could you take him back?
I don't
He's
want him
so
anymore.
boring!
He's already killed Bethany 3 times.
Where's my mellow?
It was funny the first time, but he just kept doing it.
Do you know how expensive they are to reclone?
He's so dark and brooding, it hurts.
Not even my magic to change people works on him. He's so stubborn.
You don't understand. There's nothing under the surface. There's nothing to change.
Vaelyn. Fuck, dude.
Anyway, and around this point in time, as Morrigan and Rensoir are seated at their table, probably in the
Fuck
process
you,
of...
Shad.
Fuck me! You're the one who wanted this!
I didn't choose nothing.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to throw hands. You denied me.
All in
I
good
feel it.
time.
Here's the
Holy
thing about
shit.
that Vaelyn wanted it, Chad. You've Shadlit us so much that we're more willing to believe Vaelyn than you.
Yeah.
You're
and-
funny.
Honestly,
I don't know.
honestly, yeah. And
well, here's the
not
thing,
much,
though.
but slightly.
Here's the thing, though. That second half of the blood puppet, he's supposed to make an attack of my choice to a creature of my choice, so he could have taken an attack on himself.
Punch
You know what?
himself in the face or like tweak his nose. They're like,
You know what? I
Crotch.
didn't see that last bit. So you know what? Fair enough.
Make him punch his own nuts.
please.
Do you want to see blood?
Yes, because fuck this guy, specifically.
All right.
Aw, it would be
You-
so much
you-
better if you had
you-
him knee himself in the nuts.
You do watch as he pulls forth a dagger and plunges it into his gut and just kind of like laughs about like Oh, you are funny.
If
Fuck
I'm
this
not
guy.
crying, I'm laughing.
Fuck this guy.
So,
Oh my god.
so let's see. He didn't drop his own concentration, me damaging didn't free myself.
I mean, he did less than 10 damage to himself and he didn't roll snake eyes.
Yeah, but still. Damaging myself didn't free me. There's no save.
Enchantment,
Archmage.
baby.
You can kind of see why. Anyway, moving along.
Guy.
Moving along.
Oh my god.
So yes, and around this point in time, as Morrigan and Renthru are sitting at their dinner table, getting some food, along the couch, Vani snaps awake.
I say Rincewas probably got the new, like... I assume the pendant was on, like, a chain, right?
It is not on a chain, it's just a pendant, like, by itself.
I think at one point during that other conversation thing, we did a momentary shopping thing because I had bought that staff we had talked about.
Alright, Staff of Frost, nice.
So Morrigan is like polishing a like teal staff with what looks like a sapphire in the top at the head of it that she's kind of just looking over. I am pleased.
Yeah, no. If they went on a whole shopping spree, then Renswa would have had plenty of time to like string up a necklace for the pendant. So
I
she'd
bought it.
probably, yeah, she'd probably just have it around her neck, fiddling with it.
And then Babu wakes up and just kind of like listfully look in their direction, still exhausted. Is like, oh look who's up.
You're finally awake.
You got caught in that Imperial ambush.
Like that horse thief.
God damn it. Bonnie would go off and popping her entire back and neck. Where am I? What happened?
Not even going to attempt a feminine voice.
Nope, I'm not. I'm not.
I cry!
My Discord.
Their nickname is Dr. Girlfriend. Wow.
I am not going to attempt a feminine voice. No.
Fair.
I'm a little deep but short and stout.
And I'm sorry, I was immediately taken off by what you said, and I didn't even hear what you actually said.
After Vani pops her entire spine, she starts rubbing her eyes and asks what happened and where am I?
I have, let's say, altered your past to a more happy ending. You were in a caravan with friends of your family.
More happy ending for who?
You.
Vani will stop. Mid-rub of her eyes. And just look at you. So you changed the course of time?
In a matter of speaking, I rewrote a few things.
Then you don't even know what you've done.
You're welcome.
Was
I'm sorry,
wondering
the spell only allows for 2, maybe 3 sentences, so I couldn't write a book on how you would turn out.
It's not me I'm worried about.
Your brother?
Yes.
Trust me, once he comes around out of a stupor, he'll be ignited.
I doubt that.
Maybe. Vaelyn doesn't exactly tend to be the brightest individual personality-wise. Sometimes intelligence-wise, but...
He certainly cared about you more than his own well-being, so I thought to give him something to feel he still had.
Whatever changes came about of things, he's more than strong enough to handle them. He's also not alone in handling them.
And yet,
He'll be
he was
fine.
alone.
How do you know all of this and he doesn't? He didn't seem to even understand what had gone on.
I will say, Vani, very minor aside, you've currently never met your brother.
Oh, that would have been nice to know.
That's a big difference.
Like,
Sorry.
I don't know,
Rewind.
that,
Yeah, man, David.
that would have been nice to know. I don't know.
Sorry.
A few
You wanna
days
go over
ago.
what the
It's
claim again?
it's just Morrigan going through one of those like time shifts where it's like I've gone through this timeline. He's like, no, reset this person.
He pulls out this
Try
script.
again.
Wait, no, she's not
Do it
supposed to say
again.
that. Right, it's supposed to be
Do it
this one.
again. Do it again.
I'm
It's
sorry.
It's like it's like the
Men in
Prince of Persia
tights?
sand.
Look, I am sorry. I should have specified she has not met her brother yet.
I mean, no, she has one though. Correct?
Yes, yeah, no. She knows she has one. She has been looking for him this whole time, but she doesn't know. She has not met him yet. And
you have no concept for what I've done to you.
yes,
Or you were saying something, bro. Sorry.
I will say as a very minor aside, you are aware that the last group of people your brother was traveling with was the woman across from you, the rabbit folk woman, and so on and so forth. Like you're aware of who your brother was last traveling with, and waking up you're like, oh, I'm in the company of those people that he was last seen with. Hooray!
Yeah, Air Force
Green,
One.
grumpy halfling and
How did I get here?
a tall bunny.
To your
Right,
memory,
right.
you were on your way here to say hi, to basically meet with him, and then you crumpled and passed out.
Alright, so I am aware that I'm in Vitrium, correct?
Yes, you are aware of where you are. You're aware of who you're with, tangentially.
This is the first time we are meeting.
As far as you know, you've never spoken to him.
Yes, we
Yes.
put
Yeah.
forth a new challenge to you, Vaelyn. A character without baggage.
Remember, emotions in the voice, influxes, defluxes.
I will say straight up that's why I told him.
This would have been good information to know while we were discussing all this.
I'm sorry. I should have. I forgot. I honestly forgot.
But fuck it, we'll do it live.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm so sorry. If you want, I could come back to this, and I have a couple more Agathar scenes I could do. I could come back to this.
I just lost my entire train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
God damn it!
No.
I
All
just
right.
like to imagine this is like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time when you die, and it goes to the continue screen. You hear the princess go, "Wait, that's not what happened. Let me go back a little bit."
Oh, God damn it.
It's bullshit.
It's my train of thought.
Anyway, Agathar, you are currently on your way to where? You just finished up with the precinct.
Vani, you said you got your train of thought back?
Did you, Vani?
No.
Okay.
All right. Oh, you said all right. He's headed to the library at this point.
All right.
He is kind of like looking around as he walks. He's, obviously he's being mindful of where he's walking because he is a tiny boy and he will get stepped on if he's not careful. So he's like taking in his surroundings, but kind of also like maybe looking for like vacant buildings or sort of like house for sale. Like he's kind of he's thinking a little bit too far in the future, but he's just like looking at a house and kind of imagining that it's his, and he looks at another one and kind of imagines like some like family bullshit going on. But he's headed to the library as he's kind of like walking around and looking around.
All right. I will ask you for a perception check.
Sure. Perception. So good at it. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were good at it.
Wow.
No notes. Keep going.
No notes.
Yeah, no notes. Keep going.
Okay, cool. All right. That's concerning. He's just walking to the library.
All right. As you are walking to the library, you get a small message from Soifang that says a small message from Soifang that says, Agathar, I found someone that has your handgun, but
What?
I took it back.
He stops and just like kind of looks at his hip.
You don't have it there anymore.
What the fuck? Who took it?
You feel the shrug from the other from over the line. Not sure. Blue cat, I think.
Blue cat? Oh. Was Grim blue? Was he a
No,
blue
red.
tabaxi? Red? What, it was Grim then?
No.
That's the description of Grim.
No.
Okay.
I was saying to you that he was red.
Okay.
She said no, blue.
Okay. What happened? Where are you?
Well, I was stalking you on the roofs, obviously, and then I saw this robed figure just kind of like take a double take at you, and they just kind of like reached out and they grabbed at the air, and well, your handgun was missing. It was really nice. Or it was really a interesting grab.
And they joined the throuple.
He kind of like looks around. Must have been Grim.
No, I doubt it.
Blue. You said red tabaxi, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, Grim is red. This one was blue.
Right. Gotcha.
If you'd like, you can roll a history check.
Absolutely. Because I'm definitely not remembering any blue tabaxis. That's a 7.
Why is it a 7?
Because I still have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Fuck, you're right.
I mean, we could say we cuddled, and I haven't used my couple's cuddle yet.
No, you used it a couple days ago.
Is that 2 levels of exhaustion still ignoring 1 level, or
it's ignoring the speed halved condition? So essentially, I'm on 2 levels of exhaustion, but I'm being affected by the first level.
Okay. So basically, as you think about it, and you kind of like walk by a wall that has some wanted posters on it, you kind of like pause, take a couple steps back, and take a look to your left, and Thief of Rains. Wanted. 50,000 gold pieces. Known criminal thief. Of some power. Description: blue tabaxi.
Have I heard anything of the Thief of Rains?
With that 7 history check, you know that she's a wanted thief.
Okay. Well, that was apparently, I had to take a good guess, that was the Thief of Rains. But if she's wanted, what is she doing here?
No idea. Oh.
Oh?
A moment. And then, like, the connection breaks.
He's gonna climb to the roof.
Right. You climb to the roof, and after a moment or two, climbing up onto the roof from opposite to you is Soifang, clutching what looks to be a very familiar pole arm in her hand.
Son of a bitch!
Seems as if she's targeting your most valuable artifacts.
Well, he looks for his bag of holding.
What's in your bag of holding?
Belle and Anna. The rest of his stuff.
You see that you see as you kind of like peer in your bag of holding, you see Belle and Anna are currently just like, they have 3 chess games set up. One is between the 2 of them, and one is just off to the side that you see Belle kind of like waiting, like it looks like a game in progress, but it looks as if she's waiting on pieces to be moved. She looks up as light peers in. She's like, "Oh, it's not that hand. Hi, father."
Hi, girls. All right. He is that for a game with Sori?
No.
Who is that 3rd game board for?
Oh, it's for that blue-furred hand that keeps reaching in here.
God, shit! He just like he pulls out of the bag and tightens it and just like kind of like holds it in his arms. It's like, God damn it! He just like pokes his head back in. Did she take anything else?
No. She saw we were in here. I think. I don't know. The hand just kind of like came in, and we swat at it a couple times. And then, it made like some hand signals to us, and, we set up a chess game and then directed it over, and it started playing chess with me.
Has this deadpan face, and you didn't tell me about this foreign hand?
Well, we thought if it was in the bag that you let it in the bag.
No, hun.
Oh.
If it's not my hand or your mother's, it's probably not supposed to be in there.
Okay, father. Does this mean that I can't continue this chess game? It was a really good one.
Yes, that is a total stranger who is taking my very important stuff, including Veronica, and that is not good.
Oh. Okay. You should stop her. Or sorry, you should stop him.
Well, they're wanted, and that's a lot of money, but honestly, I'm not gonna take any unwanted chances. I'm just out here to get information.
They both give you a thumbs up and go back to their game.
He pulls back out of the bag and just like tightens it close, and then just like holds it with both arms, so it's just like the entrance is pressed against his chest, and he just sighs. Well, good thing I have literally no money.
I don't think that their interest is money.
No, it's stuff that she can sell to make even more money. Thank
No,
you.
I doubt that.
Well, Veronica would have given her the one too.
Well,
Not like she could stop her, I guess.
according to Veronica, they never touched.
She could probably do what I do then.
She nods. Probably.
Well, just constantly proving that you're just the best. Thank you.
I wouldn't say I'm the best in this endeavor. I can no longer see them. I can no longer see him.
Not even your, he kind of taps to his forehead.
I don't use that, unless special circumstances come up.
There. Alright. Well. He kind of looks around among the crowd and just sighs again. And I'm not exactly in the physical condition to go after her, so I guess I'll just have to keep my eye open.
If you want, you could just, leave a note on one of these items. I'm sure they'll take them again, and then I'll retake them, and then they'll have the note.
Yeah, I guess so, but I wouldn't even know what to write. What, like, no touchy? I'll find you? Something that they haven't heard before?
She shrugs. You could ask for a meeting.
Yeah, but what would I need from her?
I'm sure you can think of a fair few uses for a master thief.
That is true. Well, the poster, did it include murder or just theft?
Just theft.
Okay, all right.
Like this person is only wanted for theft, and
Gotcha.
they are a very high profile thief.
Okay. Well, I guess I could leave a note, but right now I can't think of any way to hire her or utilize her.
You see Soy Fang's right hand holding Veronica twitch. Oh, there was another one.
Another? He starts looking around.
You don't see anything.
She must be invisible.
If you'd like, you can make an active perception check.
Absolutely. I will do my darndest. 13.
Nope, won't see shit.
Well, it looks like she's just bugging me.
No. I think that she's trying to challenge me.
Oh, great. Oh, God, I'm blanking.
Her eyes narrow.
He will, hop over to where she is, and he'll try to, like, take Veronica, and I think he will... Oh, man. Okay. Fuck, dude, I don't know what to do.
I give you tough choices and decisions.
You sure do. Alright, then, in that case, he will write up a note that's in, like, it seems like weird gibberish, but it's thieves' cant.
Yes?
We'll say, if you just want my attention, let's meet up sometime tonight. Would appreciate you stop trying to take my stuff. Let's talk about it.
Alright. You kind of like finish drafting this note, and as you kind of like hold it up and examine it for a couple seconds, it's gone from your grip.
Yeah, well, she's Master Thief after all. So that's what that feels like.
They've stopped. You can have these back now. She'll hand you your gun and your scythe.
Okay, yeah. He'll take the gun, he'll put it in the holster, but he will, he'll, like, pull it so where it's more towards his, front. Not like it'll matter, but he'll try to, like, put the stuff in a space where, it won't get grabbed, or if it's grabbed, he'll know. But he will kind of sigh and then just kind of, like, yeah, sorry, Veronica, Master Thief grabbed you.
I know!
That's
And
so
then
that
I was
feels like-
held by her shudders.
It feels good to be held by her. I get held by her all the time.
I can feel the undeath that used to be.
Yeah, used to be, and she's a full person who's gonna have full people.
I'm not going to question things. It hurts me mentally to think.
The way that I kind of deal with it is
No.
something linchpin abilities.
No. She just starts going no, and just like blocking you out.
Okay. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna mention something else. You can stop la-la-laying.
Good. You quit that. It's
I
disgusting.
mean, but have you seen her eyes? He will kind of smile, and hold Veronica close, and then he will go in his little tiptoes, and he'll give Zoe a kiss on the cheek. Thank you, dear.
Oh, it's fine. Think nothing of it. It was fun. Oh, you have a message. She pokes you in the chest. You have a note pinned to your clothing.
That is what that feels like. I don't know if I like that. You take it, and he'll read it.
It is a... It is a note, not written in Thieves' Cant, but it is a drawing. You see one drawing of you by yourself, and then another drawing of you with Soifang, and then a drawing of you and Soifang and a hooded figure between the two of you.
Like,
They're for sure asking to be part of the throuple.
Is there, like, how close is he with Soifang? Is there, like space between them?
Yes.
He just turns bright red and just, like, starts, like, waving in front of him.
You don't touch anything. Do you look back to the note?
Yeah, he does.
You look back to the note and you see that that beneath the three people together is a small little clock that has a time set upon it, and then a winding snake tower with a little arrow pointing at the base.
Verlam's tower?
Yes.
Okay. Does the clock set at a certain time?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I would assume it's like, I don't know, 10 p.m. or like midnight.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got an audience. Cool. All right.
And if you look back at the note, you see a little smiley face on it.
Man, how is she doing this?
Sully just looks at him. Seems she is very sneaky.
I need to step up my game. That's awesome.
Yes. I feel as if I'm obsolete.
What? Obsolete? Hun. Hey, you stole back from the thief, so...
Yes. Until I couldn't see her anymore.
It's just that game of, well, I don't want to sound insensitive, cat and mouse.
Cat and squirrel in this instance. She smirks.
I see you did there.
Yes. I'm glad you did see. Or I would have flicked your forehead.
Yeah. Because I can't stop seeing you. He just gives her a smile.
This is pleasant. I'm going to go now.
Okay. You can keep stalking me. I'll
stalk you
know.
every day.
I hope you do.
And then she'll step off the roof and fall and disappear in nothingness.
So I was just like, you know, that lady could steal anything she wants, but she's stolen my heart.
What do you do with the note?
He'll look at it.
If you
and
look,
then just-
when you look at the note again, you see a stylized smiley face with a bleh on it.
ha ha. He's just like he'll just go ha ha. If you keep stalking me, you're gonna see a lot more of that. And he will hop off the roof. He'll run along the roof to the library this time, making sure he's holding on to his stuff.
All right then, you arrive at the library, and I will ask now. Hey, Bubby Vani, is your train of thought fixed? Smile.
Somewhat. After that mishap, if you could call it that.
Are you good to continue your scene, or do I swap to Soren?
I'm good if everyone else is.
Yeah, go for it.
Good, 'cause
Just
I
a
have
little
cat.
fuck lucky.
I have a cat cuddled up on top of me, and I don't think I'm in a position to do anything right now.
Hey.
So starting from the top, I'm guessing.
Yes. Vani snaps awake. As the two of you are enjoying a cute little meal with one another.
Yep. Or he's go ahead.
Yeah, Rinsoir's ears would probably perk and twist toward the sound of Vani shifting. And she would turn and be like, "Oh, you're awake."
Ah, you're finally awake.
How many times are you gonna make that joke?
That's a second joke.
Look, it's doubly relevant here because Skyrim music is playing.
Look,
the
it was
it's
too
the fucking
easy.
SpongeBob. It's even funnier the second time.
I was gonna make a reference to how Skyrim has been on multiple systems through multiple generations, but
Bless Skyrim.
It just works.
I made the Skyrim reference 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I do it.
Anyway, continue, please.
Scared the cat off of me, so I'm good now.
so Vani sits up and just cracks her entire back up to her neck. Where am I? And what happened?
Well, let's see here.
Yeah, Rincewa kind of looks to Morgan.
I-
Well, what do you remember first off?
There.
I remember being in Styx, helping out some friends over by the port side. Had a bit of a minor pirate issue. And then King over in Mirzai said they might have spotted my brother. So I promptly made my way over. Forgot and been riding through Vitrium. And then I collapsed.
You were looking for your brother.
Yes. Sorry, but who are you? And I'll say again, where am I?
You are within my caravan. You are, I would say, informal family to your brother.
Where is he?
Oh, well, seeing as you do not know him that well, brooding somewhere in the city. He will return eventually.
Hopefully. It's been a while. Oh. I don't even know how I passed out.
Oh, I can explain that.
Are you sure?
Shrugs. You know Mori to be a very blunt person and not very, like... Well, she's secretive with her secrets, not other people's.
It's like, I will spill everyone's tea but my own.
I suppose if you don't think it toward, I can refrain.
Well, it's like, and she'll start making her way over to the couch. Well, first off, how are you feeling?
Other than a mild headache. Feeling okay for the most part. As she begins flexing one of her hands.
Good. Good. She just kind of like looks desperately, but it's like between like Vani and Morgan, unsure precisely how to proceed, but also trying to like.
You said that you got.
Morrigan's kind of doing the like, go on. You're the one who wanted to take the lead on this.
You said you got closer to Vani?
Yeah, she moved over to sit on the couch near her.
As you get closer, you feel almost empowered a little bit.
Okay.
Interesting. What do you know of your brother?
Vani will take a long sigh. Apart from him taking my place, and that of our mothers, taken upon more torture, nothing.
Well, I've known him for a good while. I can try to fill things in.
It'll be a short story. Like giggles a little. I'm sorry.
My brother's not that bad.
No. But I take every opportunity to make a jest when I can.
Any way I could get something to drink around here?
What's your poison?
Currently, water will be fine.
Fine. And snaps her fingers as you see like a glass lift off of a shelf and then move over to the sink, fill itself with clean water, and then float to you.
Yeah, Vani will grab it from the bottom and just start drinking from it. Ah. So you said you know my brother?
Quite intimately.
How so?
He lives here. He has a room here.
Oh.
He and I grew up together. He's... Well, I consider him a brother, if not by blood.
He escaped?
In a sense, my master, and essentially my mother, purchased him off of Lucas and then destroyed Lucas's contract. It's had lingering effects, but he is, for the most part, free of his influence. If rather embittered by the ordeal.
You're putting it lightly.
Well, what happened?
He doesn't trust anyone. To a detriment to himself.
Lucas's contract had a failsafe. When Mother broke the contract, it also destroyed his memories. Mother had to piece them back together and fill in the blanks in order to try and cover up some of his traumas so that he could function. Of course, once he found that his memories were piecemeal and some fabricated, he now trusts neither his own memories nor... Well, he trusts people as far as he can.
Well, could you blame him?
Not entirely. I am more accepting of his distress than the others.
I suppose there was some good in it. Him not having to remember what happened.
To be fair, he was still mopey and edgy before he regained those memories.
Not very much has changed.
Hmm.
He's just angrier instead of broody.
He's now broody against those that care for him instead of just the world at large. She says
Well,
with a slight pout.
I believe I have remedied that. She says, pomp and prune.
We'll see.
Well, he
I am hopeful.
did have a tendency to do that even when we were younger.
Oh, so he's always been a bit of a bitch.
One could see it that way, but
I still don't see what Lana saw in him.
neither do I. But
I mean, he wasn't unfit, so kind of does like a hand thing. It rank him at about the 6 or 7.
I wouldn't know.
I would hope you wouldn't know.
I will say that even when he was young, he would push away those that he'd care for in order to protect both himself and everyone. Rather, not the healthiest thing to do, but it's what got me and my mother out, and me and our mother out of that situation. He pushed us out and surrendered himself. In exchange, he picked up torment threefold.
Yeah, that sounds like him. He can be petty, stubborn, brash,
difficult,
and doesn't mince words, but one thing he is, for better or worse, is self-sacrificing for those he cares about.
That's from what I remember he is. I'm glad that's
You'll be
even
glad
now.
to know it hasn't changed.
That's good to hear, at least.
Not but yes, no, not but a short time ago, dealing with a Calorgan suit that was about to explode with all of us in the vicinity, the idiot decides to teleport himself and the suit into, like, a pocket dimension so that he would be the only one to blow up because he could survive it. As she does air quotes.
You begin to see Vani's eye twitch. He did what?
Honestly, it was a fairly logical choice. I mean, he saved the tower, the people, gold.
Yes, and popped back into our existence on death's door.
I mean, we were right there with.
And yes, and yet again, I had to force feed him a potion to keep his dumbass awake.
Hey, we have done that to many of our own. Agathar is praised and touted, but he has also outright thrown himself on the sword more than a few times. We only dissuade Vaelyn because he is prickly.
Agatha falls off a roof of a building.
Slips and falls. Just wah!
Frenzola crosses her arms and pouts. It's like, Agathar will be the first to tell you that I have chewed him out more than once for his rash act. The
True.
difference is that he is apologetic afterwards. Vaelyn not so much.
Do you assume Vaelyn does not have feelings?
He has feelings. He's just...
Doesn't voice them?
He voices them poorly.
He does. That doesn't mean they aren't there, that he doesn't feel. It only means he is inadequate at expressing them. I think sometimes taking what he says at face value and not looking deeper into the horrible way he verbalizes it. But to put your mind at ease if you just accepted.
Trust me, I've known him long enough that I accept it whether I like it or not.
I mean, that tends to be the opposite. Okay? You see her kind of like drying because she keeps arguing. He's like, sorry,
She'll
Damn
just grin and like boot Morrigan on the nose. You above all should know that accepting something doesn't necessarily mean agreeing or liking it.
yes. I just feel I am the only one speaking any sort of defense to your wayward black sheep.
I think I defended him plenty.
I'd say it's borderline.
You have been here for 5 minutes.
True enough, but from what all of you say, he is difficult, yet kind in his own way.
I swear, Lana has said better things about how he used to be. Is she delusional?
Who's to say? Who's to know?
You and her.
Possibly.
Lana has also kicked him upside the head when he's being stupid, so...
I thought that was more a recent development.
I wouldn't say more recent.
This boy has so much head trauma at this point. I can only just, like, be on his side for the fact that he has probably got several brain bleeds at this point. A man can only take so many blows to the head from those trying to knock sense into him before the sense is knocked clear out.
Well, he can control blood now, so it's fine.
Yeah, he just put... Internal bleeding? Yeah, that's where it's...
Regardless, he will be back soon enough and you can have your family reunion.
Well, that's good, at least. I've been trying to find him for years now. Made contacts with several, both savory and unsavory. I'm just glad that King over at the chessboard gave me a heads up. Oh, sound like he wasn't very happy about recent events, but he owed me some favors. Still does.
Just thinks back to like the falling of meteors in a direction and screams. I don't believe it will be an issue. Well, you are within my home, our home, so you are free to drink, eat, relax, enjoy what accommodations I have to offer for as long as Vaelyn wishes you to be here.
Or even if it's against his own wishes to be here.
Just blinks. Well, I ultimately decide who stays.
Well, that doesn't stop me from following.
I look at her legs. I mean,
she doesn't have the adamantine ones.
you could just, kind and a good guest. I will not see reason to remove you. In fact, if it's funnier to keep you here, if he doesn't want you here, they would likely do that. Because it would bother him. But I don't believe that will be the case.
Perhaps not. You guys know him far better than I do.
He's as easy to get close to as a thorn bush. I understand enough. It is
Wasn't
why we found you and
As
why you are
bad
here.
as a child.
Children tend to be easier to get to spill the beans. They almost scream everything truthful about themselves and others around them. Can't get a child to keep a secret.
True. True enough.
Are you hungry? Do you need anything to eat or...
Yes, please. Traveling all the way from Styx and passing out. I'm pretty sure I was eating, but probably running off of good berries.
Gross.
Hey, good berries are good, okay?
They are a survival food.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, even Rensois didn't use good berries.
Oh yeah, Morrigan.
Hey, good
Claps her-
berries.
Morrigan claps her hands.
Not unless she was
And,
being sent into the forest for survival training specifically.
Hey, you're an outlander. You don't need good berries. You can just find food. What are you talking about?
It's fair.
I mean, also that.
So there's just like a platter, like a charcuterie board of like meats and cheeses and other like grains. It just kind of gets like rested down in front of you. Something to ease your... What?
Also, sorry, finish what you're saying.
Oh, it's, yeah. A charcuterie board is something to ease the pain, the stomach pains before I get started on dinner.
Thank you. Never caught any of your names.
Oh, apologies. My name is Rensois.
Morrigan.
Vani.
We know. Your brother
Apparently
told
so.
us.
At least he remembers something.
Oh, he speaks fondly of you.
So, I haven't gotten to mention this yet, but Vani is so whenever you guys last saw her, right? She was wearing what looked to be like bandages all along her arms and stuff like that, right? Well, now she is adorned in a set of plate mail armor.
Full plate mail. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
full plate mail.
Yeah.
You fucking jest.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, well, if she's been out cold, I think we helped her out of that. This is not good to sleep in plate mail.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. You helped her out of it. The plate mail in question is heavily enchanted. It is basically white silver with gold trim to it.
I can clearly not touch it.
In these, well, I mean, like, sorry, silver gold. My fault. Like, silver colored gold is like the kind of material.
You mean white gold?
White gold. Thank you. Fuck. Thank you. It's
Okay.
like white gold with a trim to it, and kind of like a fleur-de-lis pattern to its chest and backplate. a shield and a sword on her hip that is in a fairly simple-looking scabbard, despite the hilt of it being very intricately designed.
Yep. Some fancy stuff. And if this was an earlier Percival and not Morrigan, it'd be like, oh no, you lost them along on the road.
No, no.
Sold.
And lastly, there's a pendant upon their neck.
I leave the pendant, obviously.
Yeah.
Set the armor and under gear folded. So your stuff is like next to where you were asleep on the on one of the many pillow piles. Important question for you, Vani. Would you say you are just as unforgiving as your brother if someone were to say, leave out the information?
Possibly, but eventually everything comes to light.
He's kind of like does that sort of half-lidded look to Rensois, like, he's going to bite us if we don't do it now.
She'll just give a nod.
Right. Oh! She claps her hands together and rubs them. You have recently had alterations done to your history.
She looks at you quizzically. What do you mean?
I manipulated your path.
Are you aware of the overarching effects of the wish spell?
That will be a Arcana check for you, Vani.
Oh, yay.
For
No.
Shit.
you got no fucking clue.
No Mel
Morrigan.
training anymore, baby.
Morgan's just over here, like, leaning heavily on her staff.
Vani's like, Wish? Isn't that like ordering service where you get cheap knockoff products?
Yes, but we're talking about the spell. Let me put it this way. Until a day ago, you were an entirely different person. You went through the things your brother has now gone through. Only he's gone through it twofold now, and you have been spared. You did not have a life free away from your father and your mother. Well, you were with your mother, but...
Briefly, before Lucas took you away as well.
You were changed, manipulated, tortured, and made something else. And then sold.
She was never sold.
Contract.
Yeah, she had a contract
Vaelyn. Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Lucas.
it's essentially
with
being sold.
Lucas.
Yeah.
Did Lucas have complete power over her?
Yes.
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 Sold. She was sold, Chad.
By Lucas to himself?
No, he was like...
He was the one that did the program, yeah?
I thought it was Valen's father. Is Valen's father Lucas?
No.
No.
Valen's father was the one who did the torturing, yes. But the contract holder was always Lucas.
Right. Well... Yeah.
Valen's father just worked for Lucas.
What the bitch?
Although judging from Lucas's behavior, he totally is the person that would RP himself, selling Vani to himself.
Excuse me, sir. Can I interest you in this lady I have? Of course. Oh, and so you look so good. Why, thank you, sir.
Oh, God. No, God. What's the fucking... Oh, I don't remember the name of the show, but it's like that kid's show with, like, the dude with the fucking mustache, and there's the meme of him, like, buying the ice cream from himself. Free.
Oh my god.
God, what is the show? God, I can't remember the name of the show.
That's not Funky Town. It's
You know, it reminds me of that one Beavis and Butthead episode where where they're like they're buying chocolates and they just keep buying them from each other with the same
Oh, yeah,
chocolate bar,
fundraiser.
but they sell out.
Lazy
Yeah,
Town.
Lazy Town. I knew it was
Lazy
something
Town.
Town.
That's
Lazy
it.
Town.
Yeah,
Handsome
it's the dude
child.
from
How much
Lazy
do I owe
Town.
you?
Just randomly has like copies of himself, and it's explained why.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
God.
So yes, we explained that to her.
Vani just leans forward with her hands clasped together. I don't know whether I should thank you or punch you.
Kind of like has a face on of it is what he would have wanted. He had very little reason to keep going. You were a monster.
Even from this brief interaction, you're a completely different person from what Lucas made you into. Well, person lightly. He had turned you into a blood elemental. You were completely under his reign and control at any given moment. Manipulate and take.
I'll take the blame for twisting you. But I won't apologize.
It's not me you have to apologize to.
I'm not apologizing to your brother. He would have wanted this.
And how would you know?
Because I'm the only one here who gives enough of... Okay, when it's not exactly true, but I'm the only one here who feels like I can relate to him.
Remember what I said about him being self-sacrificing, for better or worse?
Yes, I remember. But no one deserves to go through that much torment.
I did not willfully put it on him. This is just how history decided to level the scales.
The wish spell doesn't. It's a bit of a monkey's paw.
Does everyone talk about monkey hands?
It's just.
It's a
things.
ring.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
ring of spell wishing.
I think it hilarious that the witch is the one who's like not
It's like-
up to date with the idiom of a monkey's paw.
It's a silly idiom. It doesn't make
It's like-
any sense.
We don't
Who
use
wishes on a
monkey's paws.
monkey
It's a
hand?
harmful stereotype of witches.
It paints me in a weird light. Why would I carry a raisined hand? It's gross.
The same reason I don't carry eyes of newt.
They're small and they go bad very fast.
The same reason I don't bubble, toil, and trouble.
Oh no, I do that. I do that.
This reminds me of raisins, and I do not like raisins.
I do the bubble, toil, and trouble every time I boil tea.
No, I don't drink tea. Coffee, bubble, trouble.
When I boil coffee.
But you don't boil coffee. You summon your own.
This is true. I have a bottomless bottle of it. It's great.
Anyway. So, that is that. I have given Drav all of his equipment now. And sadness already. Sadness already.
Good.
What have you done, Shad?
I gave him a cool sword, and he's like, man, look at all those things I'm not gonna unlock. And I'm like, motherfucker!
This is just like you with that like armor I gave you.
Well, what makes it funny is that one of the things I can already do.
Oh, and what's that?
Now do it again.
I could speak that language.
Oh boy, you get another language proficiency.
God damn, I don't even know what to take then.
Abyssal.
Honestly, that would be pretty helpful.
Why that? Vaelyn
Because-
can do that.
Because fuck you. It's Abyssal. Swear to God, you. Anyway, I'm telling you right now, above game man, you're gonna want those unlocks. They're pretty neat.
And I'm telling you, a lot of those are the opposite of what I was going to play Vani as.
making Vaelyn the
Female
player do
Vaelyn?
anything.
I like how Vani never had tortured, lived with her mother, had a kind and soft upbringing, and is dark and as brooding as her brother.
It was literally like, this is almost
Archmage.
Vaelyn. This is
It's
almost
my
Vaelyn
phase,
right now.
mother!
Let's run in the
Listen,
family.
listen, Shad gave me a blank slate with this character, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, blank
I mean-
slate. You
I
just
mean,
stared at
hey.
Vaelyn's character sheet.
I mean, hey look,
Yes.
I wanted to give him the freedom to work with whatever he wanted to work with. I didn't want to pigeonhole him into forcing him to play a particular character that he may or may not have been interested in. I am reaping what I sow to a very small degree. It's fine. I prefer the player expression. It's okay. It isn't my fault if he never unlocks the super cool aspects of the sword, and whenever everything's all said and done, I'm just gonna literally show him the rap sheet of everything he would have unlocked, and he's gonna be very jealous.
Hey, Shad, Mr. DM, can I get that stuff if he doesn't get it?
Yeah. Can I have his sword?
I want to eat his sword.
No.
Dang it.
Can I unlock my fists?
Can I give it to Amalia just to be funny?
Can I jailbreak my
Do it
fists
for
real
the
quick?
bit.
Jailbreak my fist.
We're just hanging out here. Amalia comes roaming through the area, so we're just like, yeah, oh, that's our pet slime.
She looks up at Vani. Oh man, that's a real magical sword you got there. It's just
Whack with this staff. No.
Ah!
Before she even has a chance to salivate.
I just wanted to ask if I could eat it.
Yes, I'm aware of what you want.
Yeah, but she isn't.
We kind of lean back in the chair. No.
Aww.
Ponders a moment. How quickly can you merge magical items?
Aaron Swat, how quickly did I do it for you?
Fairly quick. Although it was less merging and more transmogrifying.
Yeah, I spit out a pendant.
Did you merge several things together?
Probably.
Maybe?
I've never done it before.
Did your previous master hint that was a thing you could do, but never got around to it?
She laughs a lot.
Great. You are very useful.
I am a wealth of knowledge. She smiles.
Protect Amalia at all costs.
You just see Morrigan's like gears in Morrigan's head turning on whether or not she wants to try something. Would you be interested in an experiment, Amalia?
Ooh, what kind of experiments? I like those. Hey.
Going to attempt to merge a few items together. If you do well,
Uh-huh.
I'll give you more food tonight for supper.
Yay.
If you fail, just like a devious smirk, well, you don't want to do that.
Oh, I don't think I'll fail, probably. I don't know. Don't take away
Alright.
my food, please.
Don't fail.
God.
I don't know if I want to do it anymore. If the thought of failure is gonna make me not get to eat anything.
Oh, I have faith in you. You're very good at this. You won't fail.
Roll a persuasion.
Manipulative bitch.
Oh my god.
You manipulative bitch.
5. She rolled a
Ooh.
2.
It wasn't an opposed closed roll thing.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. It was just like a
I mean, by how she speaks, I wouldn't imagine a 5 would be much more than what she would have just did. Just like, it's almost an intimidation what she's doing.
I yes, but like, it's compliments coming from you is the thing. And you've killed her before in cold blood. so like she just looks to Rensoir like, you guarantee I'll get some food at least even if I fail.
I need an adult.
I don't want
Yes,
to die
dear.
of starvation.
Yes, dear, you get food. No one in this
Okay.
house goes hungry.
Okay.
You see Morrigan almost side-eye you like, don't tell her that.
Okay. I'll try.
Alright. She pulls out several magical items. Places the Staff of Frost, the Staff of Fire, folds up the Robe of Stars, rolls the crystal ball into the center, and that prismatic javelin no one's claimed
Oh my god. You just fucking.
into the center.
Oh my god. Oh, I forgot about the javelin.
She
Fuck.
scoots it over the table. I would like you to make a staff merge. If you can merge them and do this successfully, I won't have to correct.
Oh, well, I mean, if you want a staff, I think you have to have, like, similar items and stuff. I can't just, like, go merge in a bunch of cloaks and crystal ball. Well, I mean, the crystal ball, I could probably do that with the sticks. She'll, like,
Sounds
put
like
the
someone
crystal
going
ball in
hungry.
She'll, like, put the crystal ball and the two staves in one pile and just say, I could merge these together, probably? I don't know.
I'm looking to get a staff.
Okay, if...
She takes the javelin's a stick though. She just placed the javelin underneath the ball and is like, hey, look, it's another staff.
No, it's not a staff. That's a javelin. It's different.
Fine. She takes back the robe, and she kind of holds herself at the ready, almost like strumming something that can't be seen in the air. Go ahead.
Okay. She'll take the crystal ball and the two staves, and she will put them into her gullet as they basically shift into nothingness and then disappear. And then she's like, alright, they're all digested now. And then she, like, grabs her belly and just, like, jiggles it a couple times. And then she's like, oi. And she stands up. Oi. Alright. Oh. Oh. Kapia.
I hate everything about this.
And she spits out a staff that it looks as if you know like the little mercy stabs for like hospitals and stuff, you know, with like the little entwined snake motif.
You give me another staff of healing.
No, it's not. But like that's kind of what it looks like, except instead of two serpent heads, it's two dragon heads. One is silver and the other is gold, as the two of them kind of like coil and curl around one another until they meet in the center, where you see a much smaller version of a crystal ball has been placed between them, like they're basically smooching to hold it in between their mouths, with their tongues kind of like wrapping around through one another into each other's mouths. It's kind of like hold the stone in place.
They were
She
roommates.
Oh my
She
god.
reaches out and grasps the staff, holding it towards her.
What you have in your hands is a staff of frost and fire. So, take the capabilities of a staff of fire and the capabilities of a staff of frost, combine them together.
So it's a staff of frost and a staff of fire, but like one item.
Yes. And it also can cast the scrying spell as per your base your orb of scrying. You remember that?
Yep.
It can cast that. It just can't cast it at will, but it can cast it we'll say 5 times a day for free.
Fine. Does it have more charges or just the same amount?
It has
10 charges is what one
Yeah, I
staff
know.
has.
I know, I'm thinking. We'll say it has 16 charges.
Such a weird number. Okay.
And as a secondary aside, you may add the following spells to the list of spells that it can cast.
Oh my god, please write this down.
I am writing it down. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Give me a moment. 2 seconds. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
She looks at the staff, examines it, and her smile curls a bit wide and big. Very good.
Do I get extra portions?
Yes, you will be rewarded for your good work. I
Yay!
even have a treat for you. As she reaches into her bag and pulls out a hand crossbow, +1 hand crossbow, and slides it to her. Enjoy.
She eats it without question.
Of course.
Where we see a friend in Amalia, Morrigan sees a magic item vending machine.
I will take it. And buy it
Maybe
for
she
$1.
isn't so big. No, Agatha, maybe you do know how to choose them.
Oh, those are some. Oh, those are some spicy spells.
Oh yes.
There are more on the way.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Did I do a good thing or did I fuck up horribly?
I mean, we're not doing what we were going to do now. Now we're just after you. There's no finding like, oh, Vaelyn's gone. All right, to Viore we go. It's
Well,
like, oh, Vaelyn's
honest-
gone. I guess we need to go fucking kill this man.
to be honest, if he's with Lucas, there's like even there's like there's no way we're gonna be able to get him back.
What are you talking about? We have 2 archmages that owe us favors.
I don't think they're gonna fight Lucas.
They don't have to. They just need to threaten him. He can't handle 2 of them at once. He could barely handle 1. He is a man who relies on his ability to manipulate others, and I am assuming the archmages are beyond that for him. So, when a coward is met with a force that he cannot overcome, he will revert to coward.
Anyway, are you guys wanting to do anything right now?
I think we just kind of hang here.
Okay.
Morrigan admires her new staff. We take care of Vani, get her situated. I give Amalia a hearty pat on the shoulder and say, good slime.
Yay! I'm useful.
But could have been better, so have portions tonight.
It's not
Morrigan
a
is
staff of power.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that I wasn't upset that it wasn't a staff power, but this is acceptable.
Oh, it's just 2 damage resistances for the price of 1 attunement slot, a bunch of free spells. Yeah.
And scrying free for 5 times. You know.
I need to come up with a good name for this.
Staff of Frost and Fire.
No,
Step
it's,
movement.
it's a brand new magical item. I'll call it what I want.
Call it the twin dragon staff.
No, that's lame.
You're lame.
Frostfire.
Oh, what was that, Francois?
The Frostfire staff.
That's pretty good.
Frostbite.
The Shiver Burn Spire.
Okay.
What is a good name?
No, it is. My brain is like, I feel like I've heard Shiver Burn. I feel like it might be a place in a Zelda game.
The icy
Never-
hot stick.
I think you might be thinking of Shiver Star
No.
from Kirby.
No. I know. No, I found it. It's the Shiver Burn Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, is it hot and cold there?
Yes.
Well, then there you go.
It is half frozen, half lava. Yeah, I'm like, I swear to, like, somewhere in the back of my brain is like, I've heard Shiver Burn. Where have I heard Shiver Burn? Google, come to my aid, otherwise my brain will shiver for the next, like, 3 days.
That icy hot comments got me fucked up.
This
No,
this
what?
staff is
I was
definitely
just-
legendary at this point.
I'm just thinking of just the fucking meme of just, well, now Morrigan can freeze her enemies to ash.
First you will burn, then you
The
will be
fucking-
cold.
The fucking
I will burn you
Shaq
again.
meme.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
there
god, that
is.
got me way fucking.
There-
Oh my god.
I need
That
to
got me.
find where I have that one spell, because like Flash Freeze is not a spell, it's a homebrew spell.
Okay.
Freeze her mortal enemies and then burn the ash.
No, she would
I
do
have-
that. She would freeze her enemies and take a hammer to their frozen body.
Oh my god, I need to look up that meme.
Uh,
Fucking killed me.
so yeah, I think this is it. Flash Freeze is actually going to be 8 charges.
God damn. What spell level is that? Oh, it's
it's 8th level.
Yeah. Also, instead of Immolate, it's Incendiary Cloud,
oh,
My god.
and it is also 8 charges.
figured.
Don't you ever say I don't give you good shit.
It only cost me fucking everything.
It cost you 3 items. You're
3 very
fine.
rares, yes.
Look, there are 3 items that you can use at the same time.
Yes. I'm more than happy with it. She's just like mumbling different names of what this staff should be. A lot of them suck initially. Do you have any ideas, Francois? You call it the icy hot staff?
Yeah, that's literally the fucking first thing that I thought of when you motherfuckers said icy hot.
Call
Say
it.
icy hot. I'm just like, oh yeah, I just take on the
Fucking-
visage of
call it the pee pee poo poo man stick.
The Jack special.
special.
The Shaq special.
Jack special.
Also,
Oh my god, tongue twister.
also that is the name of the spell. Is Lumi's Flash Freeze specifically?
Who was looming?
What, like Gork's character?
No, it's Sheep's character.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
one-
That's
one of
even
TB.
better.
Or,
Oh
something
great, I'm
matter.
sponsored now.
Hell yeah!
The NordVPN staff.
Morrigan's like, no, I don't want this to be in other countries. It should be here with me.
I want you to read that spell though and tell me what you think about it.
Ice forms on all surfaces within a 20-foot radius centered on a point you choose within range, which is 150 feet. Each creature in that area must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the creature takes 8d8 cold damage, is restrained for a minute as it is encased in ice. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage. Isn't restrained by this spell. A creature must make a saving throw when it enters the spell area for the first time. On the turn On a turn or ends its turns there, the creature is restrained by this spell. A Constitution saving throw each turn. No longer restrained. Wouldn't it be strength if they're like restrained?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
I guess it's a fair enough on that, but at the same time, it's fine. Basically,
My really strong heart beat so fast that it cracked the ice.
Basically, what happens is, basically what happens is it restrains them, and they get a save at the start of their turn, because if it was at the end of their turn, they would just eat more damage at the end of their turn. So it's like, they save at the start, or they eat the damage at the end of the turn. Because they're still in the area. Funny! Anyway, moving along. Yeah. That's that. I don't know if this is better or worse than a Staff of Power.
The Staff of Power has more passive effects.
Nice.
But this is good. Resistance to 2 damage types is really nice.
Oh, also, completely inconsequential, but you can change the damage of your strike with the staff from bludgeoning to fire to cold.
Cool. I'll almost never use this.
I know. But it's there for the memes.
At any point, if I have to whack somebody with my staff, things have gone really south.
Alright, then.
You know who could make really good use of that, though? Francois.
I mean, I will say, does that strike ability require attunement?
No, it does not. It's just like, it's a magic weapon.
It's like, Francois, I've used up all of my my spells. Here!
Yeah, quick.
Here, catch.
What am I supposed to do with this? I'm not a spellcaster anymore. Smack 'em!
What you do best? Violence!
Fight.
It is a monk weapon. It's considered a quarterstaff.
You can use it to plant the mushrooms on people.
Mostly.
Fiery mushrooms.
Now do it to Neatal.
Yes, please.
Anyway, moving on. Hey, Agathar.
That's me.
It's your turn, buddy.
It is my turn.
Oh, also I should go to Soren first. Sorry.
Oh,
hey,
shit, no, it's fine.
so-
Never mind. It's not my turn.
So Soren,
I'm just
you and
I'm gonna yank
Enwin,
it from you.
you and Enwin finish up your date, and the two of you begin to make your way back towards the bar with your name, and where she's staying, and of course the cart where you're staying. And you're walking hand in hand. You're enjoying each other's company. What do you do?
He just kind of like holds her there. No, just kind of like holds her for a little bit, just like gives her a hug. And like, are we stopping in front of the cart or in front of the bar?
You haven't arrived yet.
Oh, okay. So he's just gonna kind of like draw her close and give her a hug as they're walking, and he says, "I really enjoyed tonight. Did you?"
She nodded, or she nods. Yeah, I did. It's nice. Thank you.
No, thank you. You want to see my home for a second?
Sure. I certainly wouldn't mind.
He walks up to or takes her over to the cart, and he says, "I'm not sure how how Percival's gonna feel about it, but I don't think she'll mind you." And is he aware of the thing needed to allow them to see inside the cart?
I would assume so.
Yes, he is.
So he's going to like what exactly was involved? I don't remember what it was. Just willing
kind of
it to happen?
asking Morrigan to let her see, and she'll give her permission, essentially.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna be like, so I'm gonna ask you to wait out here for a second. I need to get the owner or the cart's creator to allow you to see in there. It's a lot of weird shite happens in there.
No, I understand. It's a wizard's card, I think. Yeah.
Something like that. I'll be right back. And he heads into the cart.
All right. You step into the cart and you see Vani, Morrigan, and Rensois and Amalia, the four of them kind of like seated down at a table. With Morrigan admiring a new staff and Amalia looking very hungrily at the rest of the items left on the table, just being like,
So,
She'd be like, I gave you your traits as I put the robe back on underneath my jacket.
So, probably the first thing Soren is going to notice is Vani being awake, and he's going to just look at her and say, "Oh, hey, you're awake. How are you feeling?"
Feeling better, and now who might you be?
He kind of like looks quizzically at Maury and Rensois, and then it clicks in his head. Oh yeah, wish. Rewritten time, timeline, and he just looks at her and goes, "I am Soren Wonderwind. How are you doing today?"
Could be better.
Why is that?
Just learning that someone messed with time. You know.
Oh, so you're aware of that. Alright, so I don't have to hide that from you. That's good.
Oh, good. What? Was everyone gonna be pansies about it and just hide it?
Well, I mean, it's something huge. It's not something you just drop on somebody else, you know?
You're awfully prickly for someone who just got told they had a pretty charmed life.
Anyways, hey, Maury, I want to bring a guest into the caravan. What exactly is required for it? It's the music teacher and current new girlfriend, Anwin.
She just, like, gives you a flat look.
We had a very nice night.
Who isn't in a fucking polycle?
I would have you know that you're stretching how many people being willing to just have live in this caravan.
Well, as far as I know, she's not going to be living here. She's not a combatant. She's probably not going to become with us to Rory.
She's like, we'll bring her in here.
Alright, I just wanted to show her my home and just, hang out, maybe talk with friends. But I'll be right back. And he heads back out and says, "Alright, go ahead and come on inside. Don't be alarmed that you can't see anything. We'll fix that soon."
It's fine, I understand. And she'll kind of like place a hand on like the edge of the doorframe before kind of like closing her eyes and stepping inside.
Someone
Going.
will guide her by the hand.
Yeah. And she squeezes his hand and waits to basically be told that she can open her eyes again. But the rest of you guys kind of like see this, slightly chubby looking brown furred rabbit folk, just kind of like with these cute little floppy ears that kind of like hang down along her shoulders like hair. She's wearing a fairly utilitarian outfit and has what looks to be a flute along her hip, a lute on the back, and a harp on her other hip. And she's currently hello. Can I see now? Or am I still waiting on that?
And she just kind of examines them for a moment, then looks over to Soren, gives him this sort of like a tut-tut like back and forth before she snaps her fingers and allows her to see. Don't know how large a group of very close individuals can get.
Are you gonna tell her that she can see?
Yeah, I mean, I snapped my fingers so she can just see, unless her eyes are shut.
She shut her eyes.
Yeah, her eyes were shut.
Like she knew that she wasn't gonna be able to see going in here, so she shut them specifically so she wouldn't have that whole weirdness of being able to suddenly see when she couldn't see.
Yeah, I don't think Lauren's gonna say anything. She just kind of turns back to looking at her staff.
You can figure it out yourself, bitch.
She just looks worried.
So, Soren goes, "Thank you, Mori," and looks over at Enwin and sees that her eyes are still closed and says, "Oh, you should be able to see now."
She very slowly opens them and goes, "Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, this is a very beautiful wagon."
Caravan, thank you.
Caravan, she said. Or she would say, "This is a very beautiful caravan."
Don't you backhand compliment me calling my beautiful caravan a wagon?
Anyway.
Nothing.
She then looks over to Percival where she heard the sound come from, the snapping fingers, and just gives her a small bow. "Thank you for welcoming me into your humble abode."
You are welcome. Please enjoy yourself while you are under my roof.
Of course. And if I do anything that you find offensive, but I don't seem to realize is offensive, just, let me know and I'll just not do that anymore. I doubt I will, but, it pays to, have a bit of due diligence for things like these.
I look to Soren. Do you believe you can get Agathar to trade the squirrel in for this one? She's polite.
Agatha just instinctively grabs his gun. Wow, what was that?
Soren says, "I don't think you're going to talk him out of that. But let me introduce you to everyone here."
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, no, they're pretty close. And he turns down and says, "Allow me to introduce you to my family. That over there, the halfling is Percival."
Charmed.
He gestures to Rensois and says, "That's Rensois."
She
Hello.
nods.
And then he gestures to Vani and says, "And this is Vani. She's new to the caravan."
Oh, okay. Well, pleasure to meet all three of you. I've heard a little bit about Percival and Rensois. The two of you were with Soren when you defeated the Archmage's tower, yes?
That would be true.
We were.
Well, congratulations on your emphatic victory. I was considering writing a song about such endeavors to give a bit more of a hopeful light to the world, considering the darker times we live in. And, well, now that I actually have the two of you here, would you be okay if I used your likeness for a few illusions for the performance itself?
Renslaw just kind of like, yeah. I feel like Renslaw and Mori both kind of just like turn and look at each other like,
When do you intend to begin doing the performance?
Well, I need to finish writing the song first and making sure that the details are accurate to what actually happened. And then, of course, there's writing it to make you guys seem a bit better than maybe the reality of the situation, considering the toughness of the tower. And this is just an understood fact. I know that you guys died a lot there, and, well, I don't want the storyline to be, "Ah, yes, Rensois ran into a trap 30 times and got disintegrated 25 of the 30 times. Hooray!"
It was only a handful for her.
Thanks for reminding me.
Soren just kind of like shudders a little bit.
And
Honestly, Soren was the star of this trial.
What, I was?
You took on some of the final challenges we couldn't.
yes, you were one of the lone
you
survivors for one of the trials.
I think it was the last one. You were the only one that succeeded in it. It
Yeah.
was the last one.
He, honestly, the player forgot
Hey,
about that, but
hey,
Soren. Yeah, honestly, the player forgot about that, but Soren probably wouldn't have put much weight behind that. He goes, "Well, I suppose you're right, but
And
we
then
wouldn't have gotten there without the rest of you."
and then Edwin's just like, "Oh shoot, I'm sorry. Sorry. I hope I didn't bring up any like bad memories or traumatic memories by mentioning those things.
Is she saying that to everybody or just to
Yes.
someone?
Yes, to everyone.
It is at the point where it cannot be helped.
She looks over to Rensois to make sure that she's okay.
Very well.
Okay. And of course, if the two of you are giving permission for me to use your likenesses, I will present how I'm going to use them before I go through the performance. This is supposed to be something that is a celebration of your conquering of the tower, and not something to actively mock or make fun of any of you. Not that I would want to do that anyway.
I am reluctant to put my face and name on something. Perhaps if you were to wait on when that would be released, I'd be more receptive.
Well, that's fine. Like I said, I haven't even gone into like the production of it all or the lyrical thought line of it. It's something that I'd have to do eventually. But now that I just happen to be meeting you guys again, it's like, oh my gosh, I might as well ask that now. If that makes sense.
As much as anything else could.
Of course. And again, thank you for the consideration at the very least, and she'll give like a small bow.
Of course.
May I ask where, Agathar is?
Oh, well, it is probably out on the town, being a nuisance.
Uh-huh.
No,
And
he's with his significant other.
Oh, okay. And how about Vaelyn as well?
Hey, where is Vaelyn?
Out buying goods, far as I can tell. He will return at some point.
She nods. Oh, okay then. And of course, thank you. And she'll kind of like awkwardly stand there and kind of like wait to be addressed, so to speak.
Can't imagine he invited you to this his home to stand here in front of us and ask questions. You don't have to.
She kind of gives a sigh of relief. Oh, of course. Sorry. You wanted to show me your room. She looks at Soren.
I have a zen garden. It's a nice place, and it's a nice place to sit down and relax.
Oh.
You want to go see it?
Of course. And the two of you go to your room, and I'll pause that there. Because we're
Also
getting,
fade to black.
we're getting close to the end of the session. Agathar.
Hi.
You're done at the library. You got what you need to get there. And you're on your way to the college. And on your way over, I'd like you to roll me a perception.
Oh boy. Okay, 18.
Ooh, okay. You spot a hooded figure before they're able to fully approach you.
Mm-hmm.
You see two ears beneath the hood, kind of like two rabbit ears beneath it, just kind of like poking out of the top of it. Brown fur, russet colored. And as their hood kind of like lifts up a bit more, roll a history check at advantage.
Okay. History. Oh, thank God.
There before you alive and well, stands Bethany.
Oh boy. Cool.
Use it. This is your one time to have somebody killed by her. Use it now.
You still got some grenades, right?
Okay. Is she so? Does it look like that she has spotted me?
Yes.
Um.
It looks like she was approaching you.
Right. Does it seem like she has noticed me spotting her?
Yes.
Cool.
You look at her, and she looks at you. And you look at her, and she looks at you.
Cool.
Going to the drive-through.
Cool. His eyes immediately like go into like thin slits. And he is going to okay. I'm going to use my Zoosteelglyph ability to completely shut his ears. So he's gonna like have his skull essentially close over his ear holes so he deafens himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he will stop. He is going to. It's pretty crowded here, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Is there an alley nearby?
Not near him.
Him? Cool. He's just gonna fucking sprint to, he's just gonna sprint to the building next to him and then climb it, like full, like, action dash, bonus action dash, like he's just fucking dipped.
Oh, so he runs.
Yeah, he, like, looks at her, eyes widen, the ears shut, and then he just runs.
Okay. Well, shit. That particular cantrip won't work because your ears are shut.
The boy knows.
You feel a buzzing around your ear, but you don't hear anything, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like for you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck, okay. Yep.
Yep. Alright. Hold person fails.
Cool.
You run.
Cool. In that case, can he, when he starts kind of like getting out of line of sight, when he kind of glances back at her, seems like she's giving chase?
No.
Okay.
Like you
Cool.
you escape with relative ease.
Yeah. He's gonna look like he's running, so essentially like he goes up in the building and around it and looks like he's fleeing, but I think this is a bad idea. He's gonna try to double back.
All right.
And try to see if he can stalk her.
Okay.
But he's keeping his ears closed.
All right then.
This is not good. I have disadvantage on this shit.
Tries to
I
quietly
would
cast
like
sending to
you-
us, but here it sounds like.
I would like you to roll a stealth check.
Oh,
Really good.
29.
Really good stealth. Really good stealth. Okay.
I fucking knew it.
You scamper around, and you manage to kind of like hook around a building and get just behind where she was. Roll perception.
Okay. There it is, 7.
You are not able to find her in the crowd.
All right. He's not going to school. He's sprinting home. And
I will say, as you go to start sprinting home, you receive a sending spell.
of course.
Agathar, where are you? I have a message to you from the Master. And I assure you, there is no funny business. It's very important. What is your response?
And why should I believe you of all people?
Because I don't know your name. And if my master really wanted you, he would have you, regardless of what you wanted or not.
Is there, because she's probably still in the okay. He's gonna respond. Give me your location. Is there, go into an alley and wait.
I think a public space would be better for both of us. Wouldn't you agree? Say the restaurant 4 blocks down the street.
I'm fully aware that you're capable of getting things without your rumor trick. Leave a note at that restaurant.
There is no response.
Okay. He is going to stalk his way to that restaurant, and then he's gonna wait like across the street.
You'll see her seated at a table, currently sipping on some tea, seemingly waiting.
Okay. He is going to he's going to contact Soy.
Yes.
Essentially says, if she starts casting a spell, ice her. If you can, please.
Okay.
And he will he'll sneak to the restaurant, but he will drop down behind her, and he will slowly walk into her vision, and then he will unseal his ears. But he is giving her a death glare and a half. As
she looks over to him. Oh, hello. Pleasure to see you again.
Get to the point.
Oh, no pleasantries? Yeesh. Tough crowd.
The pleasantries that I want are not in your favor. What are you doing here?
Oh, simple. Collecting an agent. Figured I'd stop by and say hi to you. Old friend.
Why? You a little sore that you don't know my name?
A little bit. I will tell you this, though. You're gonna be a lot sore when I tell you what agent we have.
What have you done?
Oh, we haven't done anything. Boss needed an agent. Apparently he lost one. And, well, we happened to get an opportunity.
He thinks for a moment, and then he glares at her even further. Who is it? You clearly want to rub it in my face.
You are right about that. Can't help it. I'm feeling sassy today.
Feeling cute might kidnap a brother, IDK.
I'm sure, based on the context clues I've given, you're smart enough to parse things together. But if you want things spelled out for you, then you're gonna have to play along. Please, have some tea. I'm here to be friendly. You know, one linchpin to another.
Just because we're linchpins doesn't mean we're friendly.
Hmm?
Especially after you taking away all those people's lives.
They signed up, and they knew what they signed up for. I can't be to blame, so please, sit. Let's have a conversation. It might be enlightening for you.
I don't like your kind of enlightening.
Suit yourself.
He's just gonna keep standing there. So just tell me. And stop wasting both of our times.
Play
Every minute that I stare at you, I'm thinking of new ways to tear you apart.
Play the game, take a seat, drink the tea.
Please. I'm not gonna drink whatever you put in that tea.
I haven't poured you any tea. I haven't even asked the waitress to come and get you any tea. I only have my tea. She sips.
He's gonna use his mage hand, invisible mage hand, to kind of tap it when she starts drinking it, so it kind of spills on her.
All right. It spills on her. There's nothing. She's like,
Oh. You sure? You got a hand on it?
You're childish.
He's such a little shit. I love him.
I'm the childish one that wants to play a game and won't give me the information that you very clearly came all the way out here to give me.
Yes.
I'm not gonna play your game, Bethany.
Look, you don't understand, okay? We each have our parts to play in this, okay? I'm the messenger. You are the heroic individual that is supposed to get the message from the salacious messenger. And in order to play the part properly, you must be seated across from me having tea at a public restaurant. That's how this works. Boss's orders. Can't give you anything otherwise.
Well, like you said, I'm smart enough to put the pieces together.
But do you know everything?
He clenches a little bit, and he will. How is his danger sense?
It's not going off.
He glares at her. And how would that make you look that the messenger didn't even do her simple job of delivering the message?
She shrugs.
Hey, this. I am smart enough to know that maybe the tea that you bring from a waitress that you definitely maybe sort of rumored pours me a sweet little tea just like yours, and I drink it and something happens. Well, obviously it happens to me because I'm not the one who's trained himself to resist the poison or whatever else thing that you have in that tea in a public restaurant. So no, Bethany, I'm not going to waste my time with you. So either tell me the message or go fuck yourself.
You know, you really wound me. The whole poison tea trick is not supposed to be until the third act type thing. Order whatever you want. It doesn't have to be tea. And if you haven't noticed, Brainiac, she'll point to the waitress with the tea pitcher that's currently pouring it into other people's tea. If I poisoned it, then a lot more innocent people would be getting hurt right now.
I don't like you care.
I do. And don't ever say I don't.
Were those people looking for jobs innocent? Maybe they were in a pinch and needed some extra cash for whatever thing that they needed. Maybe they weren't all innocent. But signing that contract for their lives to be swept away, nobody signs up for that.
I think you don't have all the context to that situation. But you know how you would get that? Taking a seat, having a drink.
Fine then. He will walk to the chair across from her, and he will sit across from her, and he'll cross his arms.
Thank you. Gosh, your group in general. Ugh. Now we can begin. And that's where we end session.
Agathar's so traumatized about the mug that he's checking tea that he hasn't even had poured yet.
Am I wrong though?
Well, to be fair, this is Bethany, so
Yeah.
It's fair enough.
This is his training coming into play. Like, no.
I get you.
Bethany's like, why don't... It's like, you don't trust me? And Agathar just gives her the, like, fucking really look.
So, did you guys have fun with today's session?
it's like that part of Men in Black when, like, after Jay, like, helps the birthing of the alien baby, and he's sitting in the car with, like, he's, like, all just covered in crap and everything, and Cage is looking at him and goes, did any of that seem weird to you? And Jay just, like, slowly turns his head over to him.
God, I wanted to ice her right there. Fuck!
You should have.
I just wanted to start blasting!
You should have.
God.
I asked you a simple question. You still got grenades, right?
No,
I got you hooked now!
You should have.
You captured his curiosity.
You can do the tower. You can do whatever you want in the city.
No, you can't.
Do it.
Anyway.
God.
So, we're gonna go into the post stream now. I hope you guys enjoyed our little session and our little adventure, and to meet up again next week. If you like to get the ad-free experience on YouTube, well then hey, look at where you are already. If you want to catch us live, you can do so every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/DeathlyShad. Woo! Anyway, as we go into the post stream, from all of us, all of you, have a wonderful day. Agathar, say goodbye to the people.
I need another hour.
Morrigan, say goodbye to the people.
I have a shiny new staff, and that's all I care about.
Rensois, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Soren, say
Surely
goodbye to the
nothing
people.
Horrible will happen with Bethany.
I know, right? Soren, say goodbye to the people.
Great, I know I brought Enwin up to my room, but it's just to show her my Zen garden. Nothing else is going to happen.
Nice.
She starts undressing. It's like, wait, I only wanted to show you the Zen garden, though.
But if you wanna, then...
And Vaelyn Vani, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
All right, and goodbye from all of us to all of you. Wa-da-da-da.